are listening to Spaceboy Universe on the SBU network.
Explore the universe with Spaceboy and Surlana.
32 minutes, 21 seconds. 5-second tone followed by a 1-second pause.
You are listening to Spaceboy Universe.
Okay, gang, let's go.
From the space city called Houston, Texas, welcome to Spaceboy Universe, featuring Spaceboy and the lovely Surlana. So strap in and prepare for launch sequence.
Greetings, I'm Spaceboy.
And I am Surlana.
And this is Spaceboy Universe. It is May 20th, 2017, and I've got a frog in my throat, so bear with me, everyone. It is going to be a wonderful evening. As always, follow us on Twitter. That's at the SB Universe. Follow Surlana at Surlana. Follow me at Spaceboy Music. And remember to follow the network that carries you all this fabulous programming. And that is SBUnetwork.com and at the SBU Network. Remember to hashtag your tweets at hashtag Spaceboy Universe and hashtag Space Cadets. Want to hang out with said Space Cadets? You can do so by going to SpaceboyUniverse.com, clicking the dancing chat bubble in the player, and that will get you in with all the cool kids. By the way, hi Bob. In addition to Twitter, you can find us on the universe on Facebook, Tumblr, SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Just look for SpaceboyUniverse.com, and you'll see all our social media. Speaking of YouTube, you can find more than the Spaceboy Universe of archive of shows. There's video content from Spaceboy Music, video interviews, 2-Bit Gamers, and so much more. In fact, there's Comicpolooza stuff up there right now.
And more coming.
Can't catch the show live? No problemo. Take the SBU on the go with you via Spreaker, SoundCloud, and iTunes, because, man, we love to broadcast. And on that magical note, how are you, Surlana?
I am pleasantly surprised. Hey, Miss Michelle. Hey, Bob. We've missed you.
You know what they say.
He said he missed our early show last Saturday. I'm like, well, I was telling him, well, we didn't even know if we were going to do it or if we could do it because we weren't sure about the internet connection in the George R. Brown.
What I was going to say is absence makes the heart grow fonder, doesn't it?
I hope so.
I was amazed how many people, hey, you don't have a show on tonight? Well, what's going on with Spaceboy Universe? Relax.
Doing awesome stuff.
It's okay. We were doing some awesome stuff behind the scenes. And, in the old Timbuktu song, The Future Looks Bright, I gotta wear shades. Yeah, it's exactly with
Made
us.
some new friends, and then something came out of this that it's going to be awesome someday. And
if you want to know how awesome it is, it's like that scene out of 2001: Space Odyssey, where I guess Roy Schneider's character turns to David Bowman, and it's the old version of him, and he says, "Something wonderful is going to happen." So, hold on just a second. You might hear me do a few sips because I got a frog in my throat.
We April 21st, I had the laryngitis thing, and that brought on this cough. Well, I got over all that, but for some reason, the cough has stayed. But it's very particular. It's like I'm fine when I get up in the morning, and I'm fine all the way till about 3 or 4 in the evening. And as soon as I get home, I start coughing. And you said you're the same, and you don't really start till late in the day, almost till you get home.
See, what happened is after Comicpolooza, I guess a day after, I started getting sick. And it was like a couple of days of just hardcore headachy, dizziness, drainage like you could not believe. I couldn't turn the faucet off in my nose. And that started clearing up, and I got a little congested. And it seems, for the most part, almost cleared up, except for this 3 or 4 in the afternoon thing where all of a
it's
sudden
like it waits to get all, it backs itself up and waits. But if that's the only thing I have to deal with, I can live with that. Unfortunately,
me too.
There's more to deal with.
I really hate congestion when you're trying to hack a lung up.
Well, I hate it when I'm just trying to have a conversation with somebody at work or just talk to you, and I get to say 3 or 4 words. It's cough, 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 cough. It's like I couldn't speak a sentence.
Well, that's why I'm grateful that I usually take a couple bottles.
See, just thinking about
33. What is it? Almost 33. I forgot. I know it's 33 something. It'll come to me later. The bottles, the Ozarka bottles I take with me to work.
Oh, you're
over a liter, just about a liter of water of container.
40 ounce or something.
Man, I tell you, I'll down one of those real quick because and by afternoon I'm like,
yeah.
So Surlana, anything else you want to add there, or?
Well, we're going to be talking about last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I guess I'll save that for the actual show content.
Yeah, at the bottom of the hour.
I will tell you what awesome things we saw, and Project S. So, we just got back like 2 hours ago from seeing Alien Covenant. Not what I expected.
Yeah, it was more...
Not saying that's bad.
It's different, and in the sense that with most sci-fi movies, it's more like the blow 'em up, lasers, and what?
You did something with your foot, I think, and it pulled this computer back. You must have stepped on a wire. Yeah, you just stepped on another wire. I see.
Okay, that's the last thing
Yeah, but if this whole laptop goes flying off the table... Anyway, go ahead.
Story-driven versus blow 'em up, lasers...
Although... there was plenty of blood, jump scares, violence, some cursing, some nudity.
Shower scene.
Yeah, something for everyone, even Grandma.
But overall, what were your impressions of it, without giving too much away?
I'm wondering if it was just a carbon copy of Prometheus.
Well... in a way, it was kind of it was another Prometheus, yes, but it was definitely an alien movie.
But it wasn't anything new. It was some of the tropes I've seen before with other movies, and I won't even mention what those were because that'll, give away too. But I guess if I had been more invested in the movie, I would have seen the ending coming before it came.
Well, the thing is... this particular movie obviously sets up the next movie. There's going to be another movie. And what I found about what I guess to me was that there was a lot of stuff cut out in this movie that didn't make the final cut.
Yeah.
There were some things in the trailer that you see in the trailer that they don't show you in the movie. And I'm wondering if they did that was so that they could make their movie within a certain time period. In other words, an hour and so many minutes, or so that it could play. But I imagine all this other stuff that was edited out will get into a bonus feature disc or something like that.
I had something I was going to say and I forgot what it was. I will say this. I think Ridley Scott has a decent respect for women, because he always seems to make them the focus. And they're always strong, and they kick butt, and they get things done, and they don't have the stereotypical women hissy fit thing. And so I guess you gotta admire Ridley Scott for that.
But I guess what would you give this rating for this movie?
Well, if you're already like you're already a fan of the franchise, especially of Ridley Scott, then you're gonna want to see it regardless. I'm just like. It was killing time, I guess. I could see the jump scares when they came.
Okay, it sounds like you can love it or leave this movie.
That's kind of like all the alien things. It's like, this is your Pride and Prejudice. You know this universe the way I know the Jane Austen universe, so I'm trying not to diss it. I'm just saying, I was like, okay, that was interesting. And, of course, as soon as we left the theater and we're walking out, I said, I have questions. And you're like, okay, we'll talk when we get outside. So
It's kind of like, we've grown up with different types of movies that have left plot holes, like the exhaust vents on the Death Star, and people have made fun of it. But it's kind of like in the sense that, sometimes, a few plot holes is fine if there's going to be a sequel. And the sequel should explain more or less or add to that tapestry of what, oh, okay, so that's what it meant. Or, oh, that's where the direction it was. Or that's what he was doing, and this is what caused this. Cause and effect is what I'm looking for. And I'm sure if, I didn't really see much plot holes in this movie as much as I saw it setting it up for the next movie.
Well, it was interesting. So Fassbender and Fassbender on the screen at the same time.
Which he plays two different androids, yes.
Yeah. And then something creepy happens, and you're like, okay. I meant to talk to you about that earlier. I wonder what the challenge is. Do they actually have like another person standing there as a stand-in for him when he's him and when he's not?
To look at
him?
Yeah, probably.
So you've got blonde-haired Fassbender and dark-haired Fassbender, and the Walter one sounds more American.
You think? I thought
he flat.
I thought he sounded more European.
Yeah, well, he just sounds more flattened out. He's not English, whereas David is English sounding.
I had a sense that he would still be somewhere from Britain in that surrounding. Could have been like towards maybe Ireland or just in that general area. But overall, I didn't. I thought it was. He did well. In other words, he earned his money playing those parts. When you saw either one of the characters, it was a good delivery of the performance. And so yes, without
giving it away, did you see that ending coming?
I had already read about it.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of
spoiled yourself.
I already spoiled, but I wasn't like I was going into it with the perspective of, okay, I already know what's going to happen at the end of this movie.
Okay.
But I'm not like, because I'd already suspected that there was going to be another sequel. And Ridley Scott has already said that he's going to do a sequel to this in about 14 to 18 months.
Yeah, I wonder what happened with Ridley Scott. All of a sudden he's on fire about the Alien franchise and Rollerblade. Blade Runner.
Starring Harrison Ford.
Blade Runner. Are you going to make me cough?
I'd heard that there's going to be more references to Alien in the new Blade Runner.
Well, that'll be reason enough for you to watch it. Probably, I bet you'll probably rent it. Oh, look who's got a new computer!
Yeah. So anyway, congratulations on your new computer. So,
we've missed you
once again. What would you rate this movie?
I don't know because.
Okay, I guess let me give it a rating, and it'll surprise you. Ready? I'd give it a B.
Yeah. Okay. If you're a fan, you're gonna go. You're gonna want to see it anyway.
I didn't think it was a bad movie. I just think that there could have been. There was just not enough juice to push it up to an A.
I would have liked to have seen.
It's a very solid B movie.
More of the engineers.
Of
their world.
I think that's a little bit more what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a little bit of Shaw in this movie, even though I saw it in the trailers that they've had out there.
Well, you did see her.
Oh yeah. Anyway, don't spoil it for anybody. No. But overall, if you get a chance to see it, definitely you won't go sad if you see it in the theaters. Definitely a must rent, and more than likely I'll probably purchase this movie. So I would definitely grab a copy. Now, speaking of I guess on space related, because my next two things are space related is I asked you to watch the new trailer for Star Trek Discovery, and you said no. I haven't seen it. I don't care for it.
I'm not going to watch it.
I'm not going to watch it. But so I guess I can give you my commentary.
Sure.
Okay. Now everybody is pissed because in order to watch this new Star Trek show, you have to pay CBS All Access, like $6 a month or something like that.
That's reason enough not to do it.
And I think it's bad enough. I mean, not bad enough. I mean, I do Hulu, I do Netflix and Amazon, and you know...
I thought you gave up on Hulu.
No, I still have a subscription there that allows me to watch a movie or two there, but it's like on my bottom three. I really go back and forth between Netflix and Amazon. Obviously, I'm doing Amazon to buy movies and digitally to watch them, but Netflix is like, you know, when the well goes dry, go to Netflix. You know, in fact, just to tell you what I watched recently, I watched the Netflix. I guess it was produced for Netflix. What is it, King Julian from Madagascar? And it was quite enjoyable. I enjoyed it. His character is very entertaining and funny to watch. So I just watched the season. I mean, I feel like I'm a pro when it comes to binge watching now. I feel like I've earned my stripes or my gold bars, if you will, after going through CSI. And watching 13 seasons of that.
I don't think people are going to give you a medal for doing that.
Well, they should, because but what I'm saying is that after watching something that massive, an 11 episode thing is like a snap to get through. You know, I'm starting to watch the Unbeatable Kimmy Schmidt now. I'm in my third season on that one. I know House of Cards is coming soon, which I'm surprised you didn't get into that one. There's Orange is the New Black. I know you've given up on that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just so that's my thing. So I guess circling back with why I started all this is I'm not going to pay for another subscription
to something else just for one thing.
Because Amazon, I watch Big Bang Theory. I watch Madam President, which I would do that on Amazon, or I do it on Netflix, which basically I heard recently it's been renewed for another season. Wow, good. So I get another season of that before CBS cancels it. I'm trying to think of what else I watched that's CBS related, but I do it through Amazon. I'm not about to buy this all access pass thing, and which leads back to the video I saw. The video looks great. It's got J.J. Abrams' sunburst in them. And people are flipping out over the way the Klingons look. And I started thinking back of when Gene had brought back Star Trek to the big screen, and the Klingons had changed their look. So and we didn't have a tizzy of a cow then. Of the change of the Klingons.
They explained it, you know.
But yeah, later on they explained it. But still, all that, everybody was cool with that.
Much later.
Now these Klingons look like they belong to the Xindi. And you remember how much we love the Xindi from Enterprise.
Lord.
That's just like the Kazons from the Voyager Star Trek. It's like, let's
boring.
Get through this. I mean,
so boring.
So that gives me a segue into the next thing. I know you're not a big Seth MacFarlane fan. He's the creator of Family Guy, American Dad, but he has created a new show called The Orville, and it's kind of like a spoof of Star Trek, or if you think of it, it's like Galaxy Quest in a way too as well, and it looks pretty entertaining. And I think his show is perfect for the here and now because the way fans feel so jaded about Star Trek right now, they'll definitely give this a watch. And, they're looking for somebody, funny. There are some veteran actors from Star Trek that are going to be in this one. One, Cassidy Yates, the character that was Benjamin Sisko's main squeeze that married him. She's in it. And so I think it's going to be worth a watch, even if it's just for one season. To take our minds off the dismal thing of how Star Trek just alienated fans. I like that, alienated. See, it all circles this big, great continuum. So, yeah, those are my three space things all put together. Do you have anything out there?
As far as
you were holding your
Star
hand
Trek?
up like a trophy or something.
No, I'm not paying
No, it goes beyond Star Trek, or unless you want to say something Star Trek related.
I was telling you earlier today that I'm kind of over buying Star Trek collectibles, memorabilia, items. Except if somebody wanted to gift me with a Star Trek The Next Generation pinball machine, I would take it.
That reminded me that I've heard rumors to the effect of the next Star Trek movie. You know how, have you heard anything about Kirk meeting his father, some kind of time travel?
Who cares
well,
about that?
you might like this because what I've heard is that it's possible that it might reset the timeline back to the way it was supposed to be. And so, that's he meets his dad, and then I guess restores the timeline, and yada, 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 and then we get the original timeline back and all that good stuff. So,
okay, I'll be interested in that one then.
Yeah. Speaking of really cool movies, Dark Crystal is going to be remade as a prequel. Do you remember Dark Crystal?
What, the Dark Crystal with the Henson
Yeah, the
puppets?
Henson puppets and stuff. Apparently, there is going to be a prequel to the Dark Crystal, and I'm looking forward to that coming out. Let's see here. Going from that to the DC universe, Black Lightning is coming to CW. I'm sure we have jokes about Black Lightning, but we won't share those jokes. No. But just know that I saw the preview to it, and it looks pretty awesome. And then, of course, you know what I love about the CW network? They really have nailed the DC universe. I mean, they've got it going on. You got Flash, you got Green Arrow, and all these. Black Lightning is now a new addition, and I've got to cut my thing down. Good. Woo! Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a big one.
That was coming out of left field. So, but yeah, compared to the movies, which have been kind of boring, but the television DC universe has been just rocking it. So, that's all good in the neighborhood. You should definitely check out Black Lightning when it comes out, I guess, this next fall on the CW network.
That still exists?
Yeah, CW.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it plays a lot of stuff that you wouldn't watch anyway.
Well, yeah. Well, we don't have traditional...
Yeah.
A traditional cable connection anymore.
Yeah, or I would probably suggest the Amazon and digital rentals if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Other characters, I believe Judge Dredd is a Marvel character. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to double check. Somebody can probably chime in and say something on that one. Thank you, Bev. And finally, Judge Dredd is coming to Netflix. It's going to be Judge Dredd Mega City 1. And I really hope that, I know I'm going to butcher his name, Urban? What's his first name?
Keith Urban?
Yes, Keith Urban.
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban, not Keith. See, you said exactly.
I don't care about Keith Urban at all.
Anyway, so Carl Urban is going to. He's auditioning, and I hope he gets it. He's probably. I thought he would made a pretty good Judge Dredd when he did that movie recently.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty solid. No offense to Sylvester Stallone's Judge Dredd back in the '90s, which I thought that was okay myself. But there were some critics on that one. But Urban has really nailed the Judge Dredd character. And what was her name in Community? Julian, the one...
I don't know.
Why don't you pay attention to me for just a minute to talk to me?
I still don't know her name by looking at me.
Jill... but do you know the character? The blonde-headed character?
Yeah.
Don't give me hand signals. I mean,
you did it to me. You did it to me earlier.
No, that was because I wanted to move on to...
Yeah, well, we're going to sit here and not know something for 5 minutes.
All right, Saul Goodman is up next. What do you got on Saul Goodman? I know you could talk about Better Call Saul.
He appeared.
Uh-huh.
He's appeared at last. Not maybe as we know him in Breaking Bad, but he's been born. So...
Don't tell me that's all you've got, that you can't talk about that.
It was really funny. It was funny the way he appeared as Saul Goodman.
Anything else you could tell me about the episode or to tell the audience about
we talked about this, and I can't remember what we said.
We didn't talk about this episode. The last episode was him going to court. And then
and it's like
in this episode,
all of a sudden they're celebrating.
They're celebrating,
but we didn't see
the fact is that they're celebrating because He still gets his license. He still has his license. However, he's suspended. For a year.
Which I didn't know you could do.
And so basically, he's got this time for commercials on a channel, and he's out like $4,000. So he comes up with this wild idea.
He can't pull them for some reason.
Reselling. Well, technically, he can't resell the commercials too. He bills his services for creating a commercial for free, or I guess the camera crew.
He works up some scam.
Yeah, so where he can kind of skirt the issue.
I think what does he charge them for making it, but not for getting it on the air?
Exactly.
He's paid for that part.
Yes, exactly.
It's really interesting.
So I mean, and then in this process, you really start to see Saul Goodman come out. Mm-hmm. He does this
like
commercial.
A car salesman,
Yeah, you see this commercial he does promoting doing this, and it's quite interesting to see this transformation.
Yeah, it was. He looked so skinny when he did that for some reason. When he was doing the Saul Goodman thing on TV. Of course, it looks like he's wearing a disguise. He looks like a young Steven Spielberg when he was doing that ad. So that was pretty funny.
So, Surlana, we've got about 4 minutes. Anything else you want to bring us to the bottom of the hour before we start recapping the excitement we had at Comicpolooza?
Let me see here. Did we do anything else interesting between now and
No, we've
last
pretty much
week?
been like under the weather this whole week, and leading up to a few days ago.
Yeah.
You got a chance to sleep late
Today. Well, I did because I hadn't slept late for 2 weeks because every day I get up at 5 for work. And then Thursday, you took off, I took off. We had to get up to go do the load-in. And then Friday was the first day of Comicpolooza, and we had to get up early. Saturday, get up early. Sunday, get up early. We had to get up to do something on Monday, even though we took the day off to recover. I didn't really get to sleep late on Tuesday because I had some other stuff to do, even though I took that day off. And then it was right back to work. So I said, I have earned my one Saturday to sleep in. I didn't care what your feelings were about it.
Most of the time you don't.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to break you. So
You won't break.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard the cat
She's out there.
trying to break in.
She's howling in the hallway.
I'm just glad we've made it through this week.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you and I kept saying the phrase, let's just get through Comicpolooza and we'll XYZ.
and which I guess we'll tease everyone about the possibility of what we might be doing in the future with Spaceboy Universe, and that will be all cool and great.
Oh, you're talking about what we're calling Project S. Project S.
Project S.
What is Project S? We're going to keep you wondering.
Let that marinate in everybody's brain that's listening tonight. Just know that it's going to be very cool and very awesomeness once we put it all together. And, it's some exciting stuff. So, you know what's exciting, Surlana?
Commercials?
Well, sort of. Musical interludes. So here's some music to carry us over into the topic of the discussion tonight, which is Comicpolooza 2017 recap.
Hey everyone, I just want to take the moment to invite you to go to the spaceboyuniverse.com site. Towards the bottom of where our player is a banner called Support Us on Patreon. Patreon is a great way to help support us as we pay the bills to make a broadcast here, and your help would be appreciative. As little as $1 a month can help fund the universe. So go on over to the website and check out our Patreon site and become a member today. All right, Surlana, so here we go. We've played some fabulous music, and I think we're ready to get into this big smorgasbord.
Sorry, my chair's making noise. I don't know why. So, Comicpolooza. First, let's start with some thank yous. Would not have happened without David B. Allowing us to have a 20 by 20 space, which is a kind of a big deal. So
we had the same space at the Mini Maker Fair too.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's directly in charge of that.
Yeah.
But what happened was there was a maker space.
I'm sorry, we're laughing because the
cat's right outside our door here screaming. There was a maker space at one end of Comicpolooza, and that was all the creative people. And almost everything was interactive, and you could talk to people. There's a lot of things you could touch and do, including VR and all this good stuff. Many libraries were there because they have maker spaces. So the funny thing was, we went down and talked to our old pals at Puzzometry who were also there and had all their puzzles. People, you can come sit down and try to actually solve puzzles right there. He said, well, you've been up and down the strip here. What's like the thing to see? What's the happening place here at Comicpolooza? I said, honestly, it seems to me like it's makerspace because you can actually touch things, do stuff. It's kid friendly. You know, it's not just, walk by a booth and everybody's kind of selling the same products. And, there's something for everybody in the makerspace.
Product saturation.
Yeah.
Although I did like the shirt that's had Barbalicious on it.
Yeah.
And
not that there wasn't some funny things, cool things there to buy, but still, makerspace was wildly different from every other part of Comicpolooza. Now, unfortunately, because we did have that booth, we were sort of tied to it unless we could get somebody to sort of watch over it.
I'm sorry, I distracted Surlana. I was just pointing out on our website we need to
the reason that's there
we need to update it.
Is because you haven't sat down and agreed with me on the schedule.
All right, we'll work the schedule together.
Okay, but I'm just saying that's not my...
Hugs and kisses, let's continue.
But anyway, yeah, so we weren't able to go to like any panels because that's one thing Comicpolooza has a lot of good content is in their panels. And a lot of them are just local people running, discussion panels. And, of course, there's some workshops, a lot of great resources for writers. If you're just getting into writing or, you've been doing it a while, there was on how to self-publish. There was all kind of things for sci-fi, for cosplay, for, discussing how women are portrayed in certain, universes like, sci-fi and cosplay and, comic books. That fascinated me. There's things we could have gone to. There was how to build your own retro console using Raspberry Pi. And I know you wanted to go to that. But I think we were more focused on getting seen and getting the word out about us.
Making a point that, hey, we're a force to be reckoned with.
So... I know I said I wanted to do some thank yous up front. What was really funny about Comicpolooza, it turned into some kind of crazy impromptu reunion for you. You ran into 3 old roommates and a high school friend from Bandera, Texas,
right,
of all people. So the friend you had from Bandera, Michelle,
right,
was there at Comicpolooza because she was part of the roller derby exhibition all 3 days.
Yes.
So she came down and she hung out in the booth and watched it, stood out there, hand out flyers, even skated around, got people come in, gave out free download cards for your music. And she was just a go-getter because, she'd have a lot of time between her exhibitions. Like she only had 2 a day or something.
Mm-hmm.
So she really helped us a lot because I'm not that kind of person that can go out there and just walk up to strangers and talk to them and hand them things. Because you know me, I want to run away. This whole thing went against my nature, which is to be alone in a cave somewhere reading a book by myself. So I'm not a people person. I don't get anything from other people. I just don't. So she hung out, and she's already offered to help us with Maker Faire when we go to that, because she knows kids, and she would even dress up if we've got something for her to dress up as. And she just did an amazing job. And then you had a former coworker or friend come and take some pictures on Saturday. And then on Sunday, another former coworker who's still your friend, who's also a professional photographer, came and took these amazing photos for us.
Right.
And I got this brilliant idea as he was following us taking these photos, because he would get the cosplayers and people and pose them in dynamic ways. So it wasn't just your usual, people standing together taking a picture. Mm-hmm. He got them doing something dynamic. So Danny was really amazing, and I got the idea. Every time he took a photo, I would give it to whoever that was or the parent and say, you can see this later if you go to our Twitter feed. Just check it out. So I was like, oh, God, that's brilliant. So I've got to remember to do that next time. So that was a load of fun. And then Sunday was Mother's Day, so I am wildly appreciative of my friend Leanne loaning me her son on Mother's Day and his friend. They came down, we gave them a camera, said just go get us some pictures. And it was more of an excuse for them to just attend Comicpolooza. So we gave them our exhibitor badges and our press badges, because we had more than one, and said just see how far these will get you. So I still haven't found out how far they got with those badges or if it did them any good at all. Mm-hmm. Because by the time they came back, you had already packed up the car and were waiting for me to leave. And as I was leaving on Sunday to go to the car, they have this little walled off area in the lobby for medical emergencies, or I don't know, maybe you've got heat exhaustion. So as I was leaving, I was passing it and I couldn't see it, but the door was open and there was like a medic yelling at somebody or going, "Why are you screaming at us, sir?" Like maybe somebody had flipped out and he was trying to get medical attention. I was like, okay. It just gets interesting as we're leaving. But so I told Nathan and Gabriel, who helped us out, I said, try to stay in school this coming year. Don't miss a lot of, don't be sick a lot. Make sure you attend. Keep your grades up. That way we can pull you out for 4 days next year. Because then we heard it was going to go for 4 days over Memorial Weekend in 2018.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm going to pause to say hi.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Just pause to say hi to somebody. Yeah, so I think they had more fun than anybody because they got to meet Bill Fagerbach, who is the voice of Patrick Star on SpongeBob SquarePants. And Tom Kenny was there, but I don't think they met him. He's the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. And there was another guy from SpongeBob, and I think he's either the voice of Squidward or he's the voice of Plankton, or maybe he's the voice of both. I can't remember his name. But we didn't get that far down. That was all the way opposite end, was Hall E. Mm-hmm. We didn't make it that far, but...
yeah, I mean... I guess we got as far as where they were signing autographs. And I mean, it was just so much that like Surlana was saying, is that we were so focused on promoting Spaceboy Universe and making sure the word got out, and that was kind of like our objective anyway to go into this.
Well, I knew it was going to be special when load-in day was Thursday, so I took off from work Wednesday to Tuesday.
Wait a minute. You know what made it special? Is the old saying is that when a black chicken crosses
That's
your
what I was about to
path,
say.
yeah, it must mean something good.
It's really interesting. Load-in doesn't happen at the George R. Brown. What they do is when load-in time starts, you have to go less than half a mile up the road, and you go literally
Staging area.
under I-59, under an overpass, and it's a staging area. It's a just big dirt thing, fenced thing under the overpass, and they line you up by cars in rows, and they like let maybe 4 go through, and they wait, and I guess they kind of let you go in waves back down to George R. Brown. So I guess because there's such limited parking, and then you can pay for parking all 3 days, but that's even extra. So as we're waiting in this staging area, still downtown Houston in the dirt under the I-59 overpass, we're just sitting there in our cars and we're looking out, and here's this little black hen come out of nowhere taking a dirt bath. Like, what is this one chicken doing in downtown Houston? Mm-hmm. Especially when we came into this place, we passed the entire homeless community of downtown Houston, because there's like a place where they can go down there and get food and help or whatever. You'd think somebody surely would have captured that thing and had it for dinner. But it was just, it was happy as can be. And like, okay, this is going to be different. And we got in there and got set up. We had a very generous space, and that was fun. That was exciting. And then Friday we get there to find out we've left 3 crucial cords at home. We didn't have the power to the Dell laptop, and 2 audio cords you needed to go into the mixer, so we didn't do any broadcasting then. So the broadcasting happened on Saturday. Oh, it was Saturday. And
which Saturday is a crucial day.
Yeah, Saturday's the most well attended. So Friday, you ran into these 2 people who had a booth, and the guy was selling a book that he wrote, but they also used to be your roommates. Mm-hmm. And I mean, she recognized you like that. And so Friday, you walked in the spacesuit.
Let's backtrack for a second. I think it's kind of funny because, we're cruising down the main boulevard of Comicpolooza, and she's kind of like halfway down a pathway, and out of the corner of her eye, she spots me. And I thought, wow, you just recognized who it was, just, like that, So I
thought that was really, that tells me that you have an iconic look that you haven't really changed over so many years.
Well, since I guess the last time I saw her was my hair was down to my shoulder blades.
That's when I met you.
And so, actually, it was a little bit shorter than that. But down, long hair, probably weighed a lot, at least 50 more pounds than I do now. And but still, I guess there's a core to my look that hasn't changed. It must be the sideburns.
Maybe so, that your musician sideburns. But and I had never met these people before, but he was there selling a book was it called Soul Chambers?
Yeah, I believe so.
Not sure what it's about.
I think at some point we're going to get
him on. Yeah, we'll get him on because you know him. I don't know how you'll contact him.
We'll if there's a will, there's a way. We'll find him.
So that was cool. And then Saturday, so we started broadcasting on Saturday, and I really didn't know we were going to do that, and I felt very self-conscious because, there we are just sitting out in the open because you had us broadcasting over your amp. You brought your amp from home.
I wanted people to be able to hear us and draw attention to us.
And I just wanted to freaking disappear because when we do this, you don't see this. You don't see me. Or if you did, you would just be him. We have tried to
Honestly,
stream.
everybody, part of the big reason is Surlana just she doesn't want to draw attention to herself. And, it's not anything bad or anything. It's just she's more private than I am. I'm I'm the yin to the yang kind of situation. I'm more out there and when I need to be and to strike interest, to bring attention to some things, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
I'm fine with you doing that as long as I'm not involved.
And that should answer a lot of questions like, why do we always see Spaceboy in pictures and we never see Surlana?
Because he's the pretty one.
And I'm kind of like the official. I don't want to call myself as the mascot, or I'm what you see out there, even though it's a kind of a shared thing with us in the Spaceboy universe. But anyway, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that, I brought the amp with the intentions of people being able to hear us, and instead of just like, oh, they're doing a broadcast over there. I wonder what they're saying. I wanted people to get the message out there to hear what we're all about. Now, in addition to having the amp there, it allowed me to use it as a PA system to attract people over to where we were at.
Yeah.
To see, hey, what's this guy yelling about?
My favorite, though, is when you were over there very briefly on Saturday before we did all that. It was later in the day. Mm-hmm. Earlier in the day, you had put your suit back on, your astronaut suit, but you put on the chimpanzee head.
Oh, yeah.
And you held the mic in front of your amp, and you would, ooh, ah. You're making monkey noises. I was dying. You did it. It was super quick. You just did it super, super quick, but I was dying.
Yeah,
this cracked me up so bad.
And, with me, like I said, the mindset was make a splash and show people what you're all about. And that was just all great when I put that mask on because...
So Friday, you walked in a suit as Spaceboy, and you just had the helmet on, and you're just you.
Yes.
And the first thing we do is, where we are, we're at Hall A, B, or something like that, and then NASA's all the way down, not quite at the other end, but let's say it's like C or D.
It's a nice walk.
It's a nice walk. So you go through what we call the main drag, which is between the two sections. Mm-hmm. So that's like the main thoroughfare.
It splits everything in half.
So, you walk through, and the first thing we do is walk down and harass NASA.
Which I don't think they were all, it wasn't like they were angry or anything.
No, they weren't bothered.
I think it brought a little something to them.
Yeah. But then Saturday, you put the thing back on. This time you put on the chimpanzee latex mask. And then you bought some, hairy ape hands with fingers, which they don't quite match the skin, but that's not the point, I guess.
I mean, you don't really see the skin part on it. You see more of the hair, and you get the impression.
And I was like, you could have left on your astronaut gloves and been fine, but
no,
I guess that was a nice touch.
I I was also prepared to wear monkey feet, too, as well, and I wasn't sure about buying them, but... I imagine at some point I'm going to probably go back and get them.
You could do that, but I still think when all else fails, wear your Converse, and they're just fine. That's what he did. He wore his black and white brand new Converse with his astronaut suit. That was a nice touch.
I felt like, they are cumbersome to wear, and I didn't want to do all that walking in those space boots.
Yeah.
And so I just opted to wear the black and white Converse, which looked good with the suit because it just adds to that black and white overall Apollo looking rocketry looking thing.
But and this is going to sound kinky, but every time you put on a mask I had a great time. So you put on the chimp thing and we walk down to NASA and bother them, and you were more popular than anything going on in the NASA's setup down there. Well, what it was is, first we did the walk, but then your friend Gary said he was here, so we had to go get him, give him one of our badges so we could get him in to the venue. And from where our booth was to the lobby to the info booth was like the whole main drag. And we go out there and we get him, and you're in this chimp. I'm like, did you tell him you're a chimp, astronaut chimp? And so we get him, and you walk about 5 steps and you get stopped. And you walk another 5 steps and you get stopped. So what you kind of thought. So as we're coming, we get to your friend Gary, and we go over into the lobby off to the side somewhere, and you pull your mask up so you can talk to him. Mm-hmm. And then you put it back down and said, wait, you've messed up your quote-unquote hair. I was trying to pull the chimp mask hair over the seam. There's a big seam where it's sewn, so you wouldn't see that seam so much. And then somebody walked by and goes, his hair looks fine.
So let's hold it right there. We'll talk some more chimp talk. Go ahead and start the musical break now. Enjoy 2 more songs from Spaceboy Music. And by the way, Spaceboy Music is going to be making some changes again. And while I guess I'm talking about it, Spaceboy Music is probably going to be going to 1 time per month for the foreseeable future. And the reason for that is I need some time to create new music. And
we've got a lot of things we've got to do for the universe and other things.
And so Spaceboy Music is going to be done once per month, and we'll definitely give you some more notification and time on that. And I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. That's why you didn't get a Spaceboy Music show yesterday. But hopefully maybe we'll see here real soon when that next show will be. But other than that, here's some Spaceboy Music.
Body Machino.
Чи за неделю собираетесь в травму?
Hadith Machino.
All right, we're back. Sorry about the technical difficulties we had during the music break, but everything's good. So we were talking chimpanzee.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the photos that I have and that I downloaded. If you have an Instagram account, and, you know, those are easy to get, they're free. We are just Spaceboy Universe, one word, on Instagram. And I have uploaded all the photos I could find that we took to our Instagram account, and I will be working on getting them on our website. That way they're really fully accessible. But for now, they're all on Friends Who Like Spaceboy Universe on Facebook. And if you're not with us on that, just ask to join. So, but for now, they're friends who like Spaceboy Universe on Facebook and our Instagram, which is just under Spaceboy Universe. And I got a lot of really great photos. So, yeah, you put the chimpanzee hat on and you had the little furry hand gloves. And I'm looking at these photos here. And what we did is we didn't wait for people to ask for a photo. You would go up to other people and tap them and like, can I have a photo with you? Mm-hmm. So
because I want to cut. This is going to sound funny. I wanted to cut through the BS and just go right to like, hey, you got a great costume. I think you need a picture with me, and let's do it.
Yeah. So talk about how you kept seeing your favorite Walking Dead character at Comicpolooza.
I'm trying to think of which character it was. Oh yes, Negan. Mm-hmm. And which I was surprised at the convention was that the majority of the Negan players were women, because the character Negan is a man, and of course you could get into semantics and saying, well, he called all his people that were close to him called Negan, so it'd be like, I'm Negan, but these women were dressed in the black leather jackets and the I guess the scarf thing, and then his Lucille baseball bat with the I guess barbed wire on it.
And we saw not one, not two, but several female versions of that character, and only one male.
Yeah, only one male. So I was really surprised. So that threw me off.
But I mean, girls.
Yeah, I thought, and when I saw the first woman in the character, I said, I've got to have my picture with her. And, so that was pretty exciting. And so this was Chimp Day, right? I had to break them down. It's like,
because I'm looking at, excuse me, I'm looking at right here.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through.
Sorry, that makes me cough thinking about it. Yeah, see, I've got a picture of you right here with a female Negan as what I'm calling him, the Chimpstronaut. Mm-hmm. Now, what was going on?
Oh, wait, quick. There's also a picture that you put into the Instagram photos of the black chicken.
That was the first day.
Me up. So anyway, go ahead.
Can you look up for a second? What was going on when you were in the lobby?
Oh, okay.
She looks like she's checking out your costume.
She was totally floored by the detail of the costume, the spacesuit, and then looking at the monkey thing. So that's what she was doing at the time, was she was like checking, the gloves out, the monkey hands and then when you look at the picture, she's actually looking at the patches that I have on the outfit.
She's like going over the detail and everything, but do you recall back when you decided to get that mask in particular, did you have a specific thing you were going to do with it? Or other than just like, no, hey, I like the way that looked?
I thought it would look great with the astronaut outfit I had. I thought, because the space...
Is that the truth?
Yes, because, okay, here's my logic in this. One, I was thinking back about space. We used to send monkeys into space before we sent humans. And so the monkey into space kind of thing, I thought was like perfect. Yes, get your dirty, filthy paws off.
So you were not on the same page.
But it wasn't about the Planet of the Apes as much as once I slapped it on, it gave that second thing, like watching, the Cornelius and what's your name escaping.
That's the minute you put them on together. I was thinking, Planet of the Apes, they just go ahead and evolve into their own space program.
Right. So
logical.
The ape thing, the chimpanzee thing.
But you weren't gonna do it at Comicpolooza necessarily.
I was on the fence, but you pushed me over, and I thought,
let's
go ahead and try it.
I understand that it's hard for you to see and breathe in that thing.
It is. It can seem a little claustrophobic.
And I told you, look, just go and stand up against a wall near a busy area, and you won't have to move. They'll come to you. Mm-hmm. But you did do the walk, and it was funny because we first started walking down the main drag, And you said you had such limited visibility because of the way these eye holes are just barely cut open for you to see through.
Surprisingly, unlike the alien mask that I wore, it was more breathable in that mask.
Yeah.
I was I was wearing my glasses inside the mask.
So I grabbed onto. I was holding you loosely by one of your elbows, trying to guide you. I'm like, okay, go to your right, go to your left, because you had this only one hole you could see out of. So,
but I want to go back to the even though you really were kind of the push to wear the monkey mask, because we had taken pictures before, you know,
here at home,
and
I was cracking up.
And I really thought, okay, we've got 3 days. I want something unique each day, you know. So the first day, I was just dressed as myself as the astronaut. Second day, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt for you to put that mask on, and before, like a couple of weeks before.
Oh, you're trying to prove me wrong?
No. A couple of weeks before, I said, you know what would make this look great is if I had some monkey hands to go with it. And that's when I bought that. And I thought, so second day I thought, okay, we're going to go with the chimpanzee because I think that looks the best. And then we have,
that's a busier day.
And then the alien mask was a hit too on Sunday. So I really, like I said, it all came down to let's do all three of these things and see how they pay out. And I think that the chimpanzee mask is probably the number one thing.
Because it's startling, and it was kind of original. It's not something everybody's doing.
Which leads into, when you say original, you would think here in Houston,
of all places,
Space City, Houston. Even
NASA.
You hear it in our opening intro of our show that people would wear more astronaut outfits, and that's
the official mascot too.
It's like the official mascot of
Comicpolooza.
And I was like, okay, no, I'm the only one here dressed as an astronaut, which I'm cool with that. Because that's your thing. That's my thing. It sets me aside and brings our show to focus. So I was glad to represent myself in the space, the monkey mask, and all that good stuff.
The fact that I think you had your friend Gary there for some of that, and the next day when we did the walk with the alien head in hands, you had Danny. Well, you had this sense like you had an entourage with you.
Yeah,
you were like,
once again, just like the AMP situation where we were drawing people to Spaceboy Universe booth, going down the main strip with Gary on one day and then Danny the next day, taking pictures. Oh, and Danny, he literally took his lighting pole with him and everything, and
his big giant flash pole.
Right, and so basically it gave everybody like, hey, this is a guy you need to check out. Check him out. So as soon as Danny and Gary started taking pictures on their respective days, people were like, hey, can I get a picture? Hey, can I get a picture? So
it's like you can get a picture if we can get a picture of you getting a picture.
Right.
Yeah.
And like people were handing their cameras off their phones to Surlana, which, that was cool. But, what was it, the first or second day you started doing the Sunday?
Yeah, my brain finally woke up and I got ideas.
So which was cool because on Sunday, as I was dressed as the alien, you had Danny taking pictures, and then once he would take a picture, Surlana would immediately give you like this a flyer and a card that say, "Hey, this is our social media. Check us out. Here's a
free music download."
Yeah. So we went down and we just handed out bunches of flyers, and that was great, promoting the universe.
And of course, in the chimp outfit.
That's Saturday.
What's like the second thing we do once we get your friend Gary with? We go back down and we harass Ness.
Once again, we're not really harassing. We're just kind of cruising through the NASA section.
NASA loved you, though. They got their own pictures. Oh, my favorite thing is each time we did this, we passed the State Farm little tent booth because they, vendors, actual, like 5 Hour Energy and Sprint, they also went there.
T-Mobile was there.
Yeah, all the phone companies. Everybody goes in there. It's there's a chance to advertise too. So there's State Farm in there, and you're in one of your 3 outfits for both days, and by the second day or the third day they know who we are. So because we told them, oh, we got State Farm and all stuff. So you go down there with the alien thing, and every State Farm person comes over to get a group shot, and I said, wow, this is the most convincing insurance cosplay I've ever seen for a group. It's super convincing.
And as we're leaving, I got I don't know, I felt like an idiot because I said, thanks, farmers, for being there. And it's State
That's
Farm.
The wrong
yeah, I didn't
insurance.
want. Yeah, and it wasn't intentionally meaning to reference farmers, but it came out sounding that way because I was just trying to thank State Farm for,
Yeah, I've got that on. I think I've got that on our Instagram here.
No, I don't see it on there. But anyway,
really? Well, it's on excuse me, Twitter. The little Ghostbusters kids dressed as the original Ghostbusters were very, very cute, and the woman dressed as a female Mario, her makeup was just so good. Mm-hmm. And then of course,
which that's kind of funny, the Mario and a monkey. Kind of Donkey Kong action.
So that was, and then I guess was it Saturday we did all our interviews. So we get to 3 or 4 in the afternoon on Saturday, and you said let's just do the broadcast because I think the internet they have here for free will do it. It will work because they had internet you could buy, but oh my goodness,
$70 a day. And I was like, just like that CeeLo Green song, Forget You. So, and he just made another $20 off that song.
So, we went for it, and I told you I was really self-conscious, and I didn't want to do it, and but then I realized no one's really paying attention because they're all walking by, and then your friend Michelle comes back from her derby. And she says, hey, did you know there are protesters outside the convention center right now?
Right.
I went, what are they protesting?
Which I was thrilled to death because at some point, if you listen to the broadcast...
That was a wacky broadcast after that
midpoint, we could have just, kept it under the radar, but somehow... the floodgates were open, and
it's not like I yelled it. I said, "Oh, I just heard there's protesters outside, but I don't know what the deal is with that." Next thing I know, people come flooding into our booth area, and and it was I guess it was a church group because they said we're all going to hell and we're all sinners in there, which I had not heard anyone ever doing this before. Maybe they have, but I hadn't heard it. We got these little kids coming up saying, I'm not a sinner. And I'm like, what? And then things just went off the rails. It just went off the rails. And there's more things I'm about to tell you about. Sorry about my coughing. And then we get through that, and things get a little better. And then...
Well, let's step back.
Your friend Chris shows up.
Well, before all that, I wanted to point out on Saturday, I did get to... being unique in the chimp and in the astronaut thing, I got to see, I think, my favorite cosplay of the day.
Oh?
And,
what's that?
And I know you're going to roll your eyes because it was Abby Shuto, and you're wondering, who is that?
CSI.
The Navy CSI. Apparently.
That's on Instagram,
Yeah, so somebody dressed up just like her, and I thought, I saw her from a mile away, and I thought, I want a picture with her.
Yeah, you're dressed in your thing, and you go and you run to get. Yeah, that's on Instagram. There it is. And you're in the chimp mask, and the Krieger, the Dr. Krieger from Archer was just fantastic.
I got to see him the next day.
Yeah, I saw him the first time, and you had gone somewhere to do something, and I was by myself at the booth, and I said, I ran over. I said, "Are you Dr. Krieger?" I was like, it was the real Dr. Krieger, and he had the cartoon heavy black outlines on his face and on his lab coat and on his coat, and it was just he came to life. That was really cool. So we're doing the broadcast, and at some point, your friend Chris shows up. This is another old roommate. Still a friend.
And it's funny how that broadcast was really bizarre.
It was and so I guess you make him sit down and interview, but he's only got a few more minutes because he works downtown.
I said, Chris, sit down. I call him Max. And sit down, talk. Let's. So we talked, had a chance to talk, and got a picture taken together, and so that was cool, and to see him. And then of course, backtracking, Michelle sat down, and
you got to interview her.
And
I had to talk to somebody.
Yeah, you were off doing something at the time, but
Yeah.
it was nice to talk to.
Keep you safe.
And what really kind of hit me in my conversation with her is that she basically said that. I know I'm dropping my glasses here.
Just dropped his eyeglasses on the floor. What did you do that for?
Well, lately I've been having to take my glasses off to read things because I can't see things. Even though they're bifocals, I still had to take them off. Anyway, so Michelle said that what was I like back in Bandera? And she said I was genuine. And basically said that I haven't changed at all.
Yeah, after you were gone somewhere, and she and I were talking in the booth, and said, I said, he's just the kind of guy, he would just do anything in the world for you, for a friend. I said, oh, he's the same way now. It just depends on how far away you live from our house. If you live more than 40 miles, maybe he won't do something for you. So it's pretty much the same.
But it was nice to hear there are some things about me that haven't changed.
Yeah, these are all people that knew you way before I ever did. And so, so Chris... And then he leaves, and I guess we go back to doing our broadcast. And then who shows up out of nowhere?
Gigi Rabbit.
Gigi Rabbit.
Which was really cool because, I mean, I know that he lives out towards Katy. Mm-hmm.
Which is not far from us.
No, not far at all. And, once again, I guess he lives, 40 miles away from us?
Really?
That's a joke there. But anyway, because, we got to go eat at House of Pies and stuff like that.
Yeah. House of Pie Con.
I like Gigi. He's one really cool cat, and he's got his own show, Shift Happens, which he does with Cortana. And, he's just...
as they say, he's a righteous dude.
He is a righteous dude. I mean, he's just so chill and so nice to talk with, and I like his centeredness about himself with the universe, and I enjoyed talking with him. So that was a good conversation, and we talked about a lot of things.
And that's all on in our archives here on Spreaker. Just go back to last week's broadcast, and you'll hear it, and you'll hear the insane things that happened too. And I was very tentative when we first started because I was like, oh crap, everybody can hear this, and I don't know how many live broadcasts I can do like that on an amp. I'm not really sure, because even though
you hear yourself on the
I don't like it
on the headset, babe. I mean,
I don't like that either.
Well,
I don't like this. I don't like this now. But even though that made me real self-conscious, and I'm not outgoing, I'm not a people person, and I'm really awkward and wanting to get out, I had a blast. I really did. The whole thing. I don't mind being part of your little entourage and you getting all the attention. That's actually the best scenario.
Well, I mean, and it's nothing, okay, let's have a quick conversation on this. I'll put my glasses back on.
Oh, God, now it's serious.
So, in the beginning with Spaceboy Universe, I've turned the volume down.
Okay, is this going to make a noise?
No, it
okay.
won't.
Okay.
The focus was, it's my universe and you're in it. And there was some talk that, it seemed like it wasn't being fair to you in that sense. But I feel like we both come full circle on this issue in the sense that I'm the front man. And you're
cool with that.
And you're cool with that. And, you don't like being the front person.
If I could be 100% behind the scenes all the time, that'd be fine with me.
And it doesn't make it any less for you as a part of this broadcast, and as you sing your own little show that you have on the first Friday of every month now, you're out there, you've got your followers building up, and it's all good. Yeah, like on Twitter, you said you're past 500 now, and
I lost one. I actually lost a follower.
So we're talking about one follower. So what I'm saying is that even though I'm the front person for the group, I'm just it's all, what is it, product placement. Spaceboy in general is a product, and for our show. So, if anybody knows me, anybody knows me well when it comes to definitely men and women being equal, Surlana will tell you. I firmly believe that women should take a strong role in a lot of things and be equal in both man and woman, or whatever.
And if you didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here
right
at all, or in the same building with you.
I think, and let me digress back because I want to make sure I say it this way. Whoever your partner is, it should be equal. And if you don't have the equality there, then it's not really much of a relationship, and you're just doing yourself an injustice. So I guess at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, even though you see all these pictures of Spaceboy in front, it's
that's
just
not at my expense or anything.
Yeah, it's not. It's
my choice.
It's by choice, and I'm fine with being the ham. I've always been a ham since I was a little boy.
You're such a natural at it.
And and Surlana loves doing stuff behind the scenes,
plotting and planning.
Plotting and planning, exactly. So.
Making you worry about what I'm doing because you can't see what I'm doing.
So that's the nature of our relationship in Spaceboy Universe, and it's a team effort. It just, we excel at our strengths, and to present to you a product that you want to listen to, or you want to go to our YouTube site and check out our videos, and just be a part of what we do, and we love doing it for you.
Mm-hmm. As long as you can't see me.
Oh, by the way, Leo, he's following me on Facebook now.
I know. That is...
that makes me excited.
Actually, our first interview.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to talk about that or go to break?
Let's take a break.
And I'll talk about that when we come back.
And then maybe you can queue up the video.
His, maybe?
Yeah, his. And then, so everyone, let me go here and close that out. And... I guess I can do a quick mini commercial while I'm trying to load some music up here. Speaking of music, I'm a musician, if you didn't know that. I have my own show called Spaceboy Music. It usually airs Friday nights, and there's going to be some changes there. But what I'd like to tell you is that my latest album is Unique Technique. And, man, we gave a lot of free music out at the Comicpolooza. But you can get your own digital copy for an affordable price, and that is only $10. That's right, $10 buys you 17 wonderful tracks that you can bug out to. So go on over to spaceboymusic.com and get your copy, that is digital copy, of Spaceboy Music copy of Unique Technique, right there on spaceboymusic.com.
Hey, we're back. And so we're talking about Comicpolooza and 2017, which was this last weekend. And, we're going to open up the lines to the phones at 11 o'clock.
Should be about, 20 minutes
But,
or
yeah,
so?
not too far off. So, we've asked Beverly to call back at that time.
Because we do want to talk to her.
Yeah, it's been a while since
It's been a
we've
while.
talked. Yeah. So, there I was walking the convention
Excuse me.
floor, and I see this art off in the distance. And, it was really nice because, everything seems like malls. And do you know what I mean by that, Surlana?
Like, what'd you say?
You drive and you see a mall.
Oh.
A side mall, and then you drive
A strip mall.
a strip
It's all
mall,
the same.
and they're all the same. So it's kind of like you had a lot of these booths that were all the same, except for the art of Leo Phoenix. Excuse me, it was getting a little clogged.
Yeah, something's going on with us in here. Yeah.
So, and I was really drawn to the art, and I said, I want to get to know this guy. I think he has something unique and different.
Well, it was colorful for one thing. The color caught my eye. And when I got up close to it, I said, that's an interesting subject matter. It was kind of reminded me of some other famous artists. And then we got to talking to him, and I found out, excuse me, I just want to cough all of a sudden. Well, when he talked to us, I found out it wasn't just really excellent painting like acrylic or oil.
Because that's how good it looked.
That's how good it looked, because it was very precise. These canvas-sized pieces of artwork on these easels were actually done with paper, bits of paper.
Paper, glue, and X-Acto knife.
Mm-hmm. That's what just absolutely floored me.
So why don't we play that clip, Surlana,
Okay.
that you had there?
Queued up?
Yeah, go ahead and play it.
Just a second.
Hey, it's Spaceboy Phoenix, and I got to start this conversation off, Leo. Is that I'm roaming the villages and the planet here, and what sparked my imagination is that I saw your art off in the distance, and it was like a beacon in the night. And it drew me to your stand here, and it is really wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, but Lucy's Dream, it's been evolving for a long, long time. The initial concept started back in 1989 with the simple acrylic. Poor college kid, sold it for $30. Tried to buy it back a year later. Went back to the collector. He said no. We found it in his daughter's room. So in '95, I added paper. In '96, the original Lucy's Dream went in the garage. I left off for about 20 years, picked it up about 2.5 years ago, and I've taken off.
Well, it is very stunning. Can you tell us a little bit about your technique and how you've metamorphosized into that?
Yeah, I mean, from the acrylic, it was almost being a kid back in '95, you really don't know, what you're looking at. You always think you want a signature style, but sometimes things are looking at you in the face and you don't see them. I didn't find my signature style until 2.5 years ago when I picked it back up. I mean, it was paper. I just added paper in '95 and went with it, put it in the garage in the Houston weather. It survived 20-something years, and next thing you know, here I am, and I've taken off. I've been lucky enough to go to L.A., do the Stanley Comic-Con, and even the Kids Universe, Stanley's people took some notice, and we had a conversation about Lucy's Dream. So regardless where that goes, I don't know, but at least I can say they know who I am.
Well, tell us a little bit more about your book and what you have going on here.
Yeah, Lucy's Dream, the basic concept of the story is little girl has a dream. She wakes up floating to space. She falls to the rainbow sphere, meets Billy the Bus. That's when Billy takes over. That's going to be my icon. Dr. Seuss, big influence, has The Cat in the Hat. I'm Billy the Bus, which is going to take you straight to Lucy's Dream. They go to Dreamland. There's these guys called the Sunblockers. They're the bad guys. They block the sun with the flowers. There's the flower cutters and the flower grabbers inside the Sunblockers. And their concept is they're trying to get to the Golden Flower Patch in Dreamland. All the characters in Dreamland, Billy the Bus, B2 Brad, B52 Sam, all those guys, what they use is light to push the sunblockers, the darkness away. And that's the initial concept of the book. I've already written the 4 books. I'm illustrating. I'm dropping the second book. I've already published the first one. The second one should be out in about 60 days. And I'm going to focus on each of the characters. And the next 3 books are all rhyming scheme books. So it's Billy the Bus, and basically applies to all the kids that are having a problem. But Billy the Bus, he goes to Thornville, has a flat tire, gets scared, fixes it, and moves on. So that applies to a lot of the kids either having medical issues or some type of issue, and it applies even to the grown-ups. So I think it's going to be a pretty cool book. And then I have Dreamland's Big Balloon Race and Roy the Roaring Rockets Rowing Journey. And those books are going to be through 2018.
Well, it does look very exciting when I see these books here, and I'd like to segue back into the other art. You told a wonderful story about Stan Lee. Would you care to share that story?
Absolutely. Well, doing a comic book is a tough deal because Stan Lee once said, the hardest thing to do these days is to create a new superhero. All the powers are taken out. So I put it on my little boy Maddox. I think he was 7 or 8 at the time. He's 10 now. And I said, Maddox, you know what Stan Lee said, right? I said, he can't create a new superhero. I said, go on and create a new superhero. So what happens is Maddox comes back a couple days later and says, Dad, I got a new superhero. And I said, okay, thinking nothing of it. I said, what is it? He goes, well, a guy that can see from afar. So I went on the internet and I said, you know what, man? That's actually pretty good because it's not even on the internet. So I created what we call now Zoom Man. From Zoom Man came Ratterman, Flectoluminous, and Fulminous, and came Psi for the Secret Center of Invention and Future Advancement. It's going to rival the SHIELD one day, I guarantee you that. So from that, I created another group that's going to go against the EXO unit, which is that group that I just mentioned, called the Seismic Squad. And I'm in my 2nd issue. I started with the 3rd issue and 4th instead of 1 and 2 because I haven't really resolved on who the guys are and how they became who they are. So, but that's the story behind that. All from a 7-year-old's frame of seeing things. I took it, and now I have a whole comic book strip, and that's a whole nother project.
That is really fascinating. How just a spark of imagination, and I guess in a way you. When you see your own work, you'll always make that connection back to your young man, and especially as he grows up, he'll have that connection back with you. So that's always good to see. So before we wrap it up here, it's always important to tell our audience, social media, websites, how they can get in touch with you, because that's important because we want people to be able to find you on the internet. So what can you tell us?
You can look me up at artbystudiob.com. Or just go in and punch in Studio B and you'll find me. Facebook, Instagram. I'm local. I'm a local artist from Houston, so I have a studio here at the Silos. I'm at 121. So every second Saturday you can actually go into the studio and actually see the original works of all the pieces in the studio. So, and the Silos is a great place to go and hang out. There's a lot of other artists there too.
Well, Leo, thank you for taking the time and spending it with us. And like I said before, off camera, we look forward to great and wonderful things from you. You just have such a charismatic way of conveying your passion, and it's that passion that we love to see, and especially in events like this. So
absolutely, man. No, I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to doing the podcast with you guys here soon. I'll sit there 3 hours, man, because I can talk forever. So, and I love talking. I love explaining what I'm all about, and I don't know who I'm going to influence next, but I can be influencing the next Picasso out there, and the style that I work in is a very unique style, and I hope to kind of spread that out. So,
well, it's almost like it's like a domino effect. You push a domino forward, and it's a ripple effect through time, and to see the inspiration that you give other people.
Anyway, so that was the interview with Leo Phoenix. I had my boom side. So yeah, we're going to have him on soon. As a live interview with Surlana.
He wants to do it live in person.
Yeah, so he'll be probably the first person that we have live in the studio. But when do we have him scheduled on the schedule? I know what
it is. Let me look at this little
June 10th.
No. Hold on. Let me look at this real quick. June 17th.
So June 17th we'll have Leo Phoenix on, and so that'll be exciting to check out. Who else do we have on the that we can play
let's
there
see.
In our bank of interviews we did?
We have got Jared Williams. His is very
visual.
Very visual.
Yeah.
The ladies from the Maker Buzz.
I guess we can do that one. Just let me know when you've got it queued up. And but these ladies basically have their bus that it's not like it's bigger than a school bus. And
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And what they do is they go to these different events, or not necessarily events, but they bring making things to groups of children in schools.
Well, yeah. What you can do is you can call them up, say we want the maker bus at this event or something, and they have different activities they can do for different age groups. And you get on the bus, as they say. You get on the bus, and they have little seating areas and all the activities they do right there on the bus, and they drive it around. And the bus is called Babs. Mm-hmm. The bus has its own Twitter account. You can check them out at MAKR_U or at Babs MAKR.
Do you have it queued up so we can hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my interview with the lovely ladies of the Maker. Was it Maker U?
Yes, it's Maker U, but MAKR without the E.
All right, roll that footage.
Let's get on here.
It is Comicpolooza 2017, and with us is two lovely ladies. Ladies, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Absolutely. We are the ladies that power the bus that is known as Maker U. I'm Mary Jones.
And I'm Carla Coop.
Well, hello, and thank you for taking the time out to talk Maker. And so let's start from the beginning. The bus. What is it all about?
Well, her name is Babs.
Oh, okay. She's got a name.
She has a name, and she is our makerspace. Mm-hmm. And we move all about the Houston area, bringing making to neighborhoods and events such as Comicpolooza and schools. And we teach making.
Well, great. So tell us a little bit about the making that you teach with the bus.
We do pretty much anything that kids, be they 4 foot tall or 6 foot tall, are interested in and passionate about. So we do a little coding, robotics, circuitry, electrical engineering, soldering, old-fashioned cardboard. Pretty much what they like is what we do.
Now, as far as you say you were teaching, do y'all have a background in teaching, or how did you get involved in that?
Well, we are two retired retread teachers ourselves. And we got to the golden years and decided one day that we wanted to retire, and that we still had a dream and a passion for kids and for learning and for really, really deep diving into learning. And we saw that a lot of kids were kind of tuned out, and we wanted to really make learning active and exciting and
fun.
Fun
is important.
And fun. And growing up, we grew up with Miss Frizzle and the Magic School Bus.
Okay.
And we love maker spaces, but we wanted ours mobile because we wanted to be able to take our space to the kids and to the people. And so we kind of took food truck and maker space and combined them. And now we're on the move, and so we can drop it wherever we need to drop it and put people on board and be able to provide that experience for them.
Well, I was going to say that if there was food involved, I would definitely become more active.
That just may be there one day. Maybe there one day.
We've talked about a margarita machine.
Oh, yeah. Don't get Surlana started. We just did a show on margarita, Cinco de Mayo. But so how do the kids light up when they see the possibilities? First they see this big bus come up, and I'm sure they have many questions when they see it. But when they get in and start getting active, what's the kids' reaction?
They're always amazed. Usually that once they get inside and they look and they go, "Whoa, this is a bus," and then they'll go, "Is this a bus or is this a school?" And then they'll go, "Is this a classroom?" And then they'll go, "Whoa!" It takes them a while, and then they'll go, "Can I play with this? Can I play with this? Can I play with this? Can I play with this?" And they'll ask permission, and then pretty soon they don't ask permission anymore. They're just there and
Right.
involved in what they're doing. So it's pretty awesome. And then we get the kids that just cry because they don't want to get off the bus.
Oh goodness! I imagine that they go in with I guess a closed-minded expectation, but when they see, it's like walking into like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory kind of thing.
It is. And I tell you what, really, it's a game changer for me. And I know Carla's mentioned it many times. Is we get a lot of parents that get involved with their kids on the bus, and the parents say, "If we'd only had this when we were kids."
Yeah, that's one thing that I encounter with with my nieces. That I was lucky enough to be around for one of my nieces to help her guide her as a kid. Is that I wanted to make sure that she had the opportunity to always ask the question why. Don't accept things for status quo, and you can do whatever you want to.
Pretty much.
Don't let anybody tell you
Pretty
what.
much.
And Surlana and I have been very active, especially when it comes to STEM, especially with young women. We're very behind making sure that young women grow into
get that opportunity.
Yeah, that opportunity. And because I know as a kid. Unfortunately, I'm a male. Please don't hold that against me. But, I'm from that 70s where, girls did dolls and stuff like that and boys did the other stuff. And, and I was always at the point of saying, why? We should be equals in doing things together. And, and I guess that's why she married me. But that's a different story altogether. Yeah, in the 70s as a kid and going into the 80s, I had 70s, they had Schoolhouse Rock on television. I had Mr. Wizard in the going into the 80s with Nickelodeon when it first started coming out.
Correct.
So I was always inspired by things like that, and it always frustrated me because I felt like I was in the minority, so to speak, during that time, and seeing other kids that, whatever, I don't find it fascinating, and I think it was the presentation or the, just the layout, if you will, the buffet of things that can be tasted from the different technologies. What say y'all on that?
Well, I'm the jump in and let's do this person, and my background growing up was my dad handing me parts from a petroleum plant.
Oh.
And said, here's a screwdriver, have fun. So I grew up taking things apart. And that's one thing that we really speak to on the bus is find that thing at home that you don't know how it works. And make sure you ask permission, but take it apart. And we tell the kids where we got the parts. We don't always go out and buy the parts that they're using.
We're very much break it, break it and then
to get
build
stuff.
it. Break it and build it.
So
take it apart.
So, for example, we do tons of different stuff with electric toothbrushes
from the 99-cent store.
Okay.
Because they come with a battery, they come with a motor, they come with a toothbrush.
Right.
And if you take all those parts apart and know a little bit about soldering, then you've got a wealth of things that you can create and do. And we
believe all kids should solder.
Yeah, so, we do tell every parent, how old are they? Are they soldering yet?
Right.
Because that's a skill they need to know. But now you don't even have to do that because there's the new shrink tubing and you can just put your wires together and shrink it together. So we do some of that as well with people. And recently we did a workshop where we gave them a cardboard box full of paper clips and paper brads and a light and a buzzer. And we taught them how to create a circuit with that. We create circuits with aluminum foil. So pretty much you need a battery and some LEDs.
And that speaks volumes because now I'm seeing technology come out where small little computers where you can, for younger generations to program, to code. I've seen things where Legos are now coming with a foil pattern where you can put lights onto that. I mean, so it's really cool to see that now. And I'm going to speak now about what I did as a kid is I took my parents' TV apart that had the tubes and everything apart. And let's just say I didn't have much of my rear end after I took that apart, because you know how those things were,
Yeah,
right.
big consoles. But it gave me the mindset of, because my day job, I'm an IT technician, so I build things and take things apart, computers and monitors, and so it's fun to do. So I still have that youth mentality in my mind when it comes to technology, and to see what y'all are doing is just, it warms my heart to see that you're still molding the minds of young generation to take on technology of the future.
Yeah, and very much, you know, why does it work? How does it work? And how can you make it work better? And what can you do with it? You know, hack it and then do something else with it. So that's what we love.
I love the hacking part. It's definitely it's a culture now that, like I said, just wasn't back in my day, but it was for a select few, such as y'all and possibly myself. But it's great to see that this is happening, and I know that Spaceboy Universe is proud to be a part of the Maker Faire people. We really think Dave tremendous to bring us in and to be a part of this group in general. So it's great to see. Now, if people want to reach out to get in touch with you, what do they need to do?
We have a website.
Okay.
And it is www.makeru.co, not .com, but .co. Our Twitter account is maker_u, and our Facebook is at Babs Maker. And our Maker is MAKR, standing for Mary and Carla, and U for University. So Maker U.
Well, awesome. All right, and Surlana just abruptly ended there.
That's
and
where it ends.
That's where it ends, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't even... we're back. So that was the wonderful interview we did with the Maker ladies of the Maker U bus, and we hope to see them in October, which...
Yes.
I don't think it's too much to give away right now that we'll be going back to Mini Maker Faire. Well, actually, I think it's called Maker Faire now this year.
One of the other makers says that we've been upgraded to a full Maker Faire because they changed the rules that you don't have to have an outdoor component to be qualified to be a full Maker Faire. They changed it, so now we're just a full-fledged Maker Faire.
Well, that's pretty cool. And so, on that magical note, Surlana, let's take music. And now, Bev, if you want to call in, we're going to be opening up the local line that if you want to call in and chat with us, you can do so. So here's music. Gives Bev a chance to call in. And then when we come back, we'll have Bev on the phone. And we look forward to hearing from you, Bev. So call in.
are listening to Spaceboy Universe on the SBU network.
Explore the universe with Spaceboy and Surlana.
All right, we're back, and Beverly has joined us. Hello, Beverly.
Hi.
Have you missed us?
Yes, I have.
I feel like we haven't talked in forever.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
We had an unscheduled, downtime, and then we went to Comicpolooza, so it probably seems like we've been gone a while.
I know. What, about 3 weeks, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that way. It's almost about
Although technically we did have a show last Saturday. We just
yeah.
didn't know when it was going to be.
Yeah, we missed it. We didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and listen to it. It gets weird.
It does get weird.
Does it?
It's weird.
Weirder than tonight in the chat.
Well, that's its own unique weird.
There's more I could say, but I don't want to say it on the air.
You want to be a good girl?
Yeah. Sometimes I wish we had like a private after show chat line that I could tell you what really happened, you know.
Oh, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We could compare notes.
Yeah.
Did you hear Bob?
Yeah,
yes.
I could hear.
What
He's
is...
like, ugh.
He's doing his Chewbacca
I was
impression.
going to say, yeah.
Yeah, that's his Chewbacca impression.
Well, at least we...
How do you do that?
We know he's alive then.
Yeah, he's alive. Oh, he's drinking his beer.
I've got tequila in here, but I mean, I don't have anything to put it over.
You need to
I think it's mice.
clean it out of the studio.
Yeah, I need to get the blender out of here and everything.
Well, I didn't have anything to drink my rum with, so I'm drinking it with cranberry juice. It doesn't taste that bad.
So we got
I
you,
learned to improvise.
it got you early in the evening then.
I thought cranberry and vodka go together pretty decent.
Orange juice and vodka.
Vodka and anything,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, well, true, I guess, to some
Orange
extent.
juice and vodka, that's a screwdriver.
Indeed. That is a delicious drink.
Where did we see? We went before we went to the movies. We just saw they have put a small bar in the movie theater
they started selling alcohol at the Cinemark.
that we've been going to for years.
Ow.
Well, I
At a
guess.
cinema?
Well, I know
Yeah.
Cinemark is trying to improve their theaters. They've got these electronic recliners now that is really nice and
Electric recliners.
and I guess they got their beer license or to sell alcohol and adult refreshments. And I guess
you can get them. Did you tell me you saw margarita?
Yeah, I saw
makings
margarita.
there?
Yeah,
Sorry, my chair's messed up.
margarita makings. Yeah, so you can actually
wow.
get margarita makings there.
Jeez.
Get you a margarita. Watch an alien chest buster bust out of your.
Oh, naughty Bob, sneaking it in.
I don't even know if we still have cinemas here. Do we still have cinemas in Findlay, honey? He's typing, so...
I like
He kind of ignores me when he's typing.
I like Bailey's Irish Cream Caramel version, chilled.
I personally am a whiskey sour guy. I like my whiskey, and I'll go for a tequila, but margarita, those are nice. But yeah,
I like
whiskey sour.
most clear alcohol and Kahlua.
Well, let me tell you, Bev, the thing that she made on her show on Cinco de Mayo, it was pretty good.
I didn't know what I was doing.
I got kind of a buzz off of it.
I just poured stuff in the blender.
The only thing I would have said complaint was that the ice wasn't properly.
That wasn't my fault. That's
chewed up. Yeah,
the blender's crappy.
We need a new blender. But it wasn't about the blender as much as whatever she, it was an ice cube with the margarita mixing sour stuff.
I got so
the
buzzed
tequila.
during my own program. I said, okay, I can't talk anymore. You talk. I was telling my co-host.
Oh, my God. I would love to see you two buzz. I bet it's a trip.
Well, she finally got her husband to bring her something. He had made it for her while we were on the air, so you can go back and listen to that here on Spreaker or wherever we have stuff.
Yeah, don't you have it posted to the SBU network? Sweet Tea and Sarcasm?
Maybe, but I didn't post it anywhere. I mean, you just go back and look in the SBU network archives here. You can find it, and it's also on YouTube. Probably SoundCloud and embarrassingly on iTunes, Stitcher.
It's out there. I mean, you don't hear. Yeah, I was producing the show, so there wasn't much of me talking, but you know, it was a nice drink. It was
I was surprised you had some.
Well fitting. Well, I figured. Well,
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. I'd be remiss if as a Guerrero, not having a little bit of tequila and.
You're about as Spanish as I am, which is
still
0%.
I've got the name. I'm going to have some tequila. So...
You guys don't really drink, do you?
No, that's the first drop of alcohol both of us have had since August of last year.
Can we be real here? The 90s was my drinking years.
Yeah, same.
And so now it's not really a focus. We're not...
Don't have time to devote to it, and it's expensive.
In the early 2000s, I basically was a karaoke guy, so I'd go do the karaoke thing. But then I married Surlana, and then I became a non-drinking kind of person.
No, that makes it sound like I'm a teetotaler, and it's not. It's just
Oh, she loves her tea, by the way.
That stuff's expensive.
Sounds like she's blaming it on you.
I know, but alcohol ain't cheap unless you're getting some crappy stuff.
Well, the thing is, I didn't want to run her off. I didn't want her to think I was a booze hound or something like that.
But boy, he can hold his liquor.
I can.
He really can.
I have demonstrated it before, where I can go hand to hand with somebody.
But because we've got regular jobs and we've got places we got to go now because of the universe and things to do.
So it's kind of hard to be drunk.
Yeah, there's no time to stick. There's no time to cram it in there. So,
well, Bob always said I was a cheap date because 2 to 3 drinks, and I was.
Yeah, I'm the same way because probably we don't indulge very often, so it doesn't take a lot for me.
I used to be, when Bob and I first got together, I could hold my liquor and beer, and I used to drink a lot. But as I got older, I just got away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now
it's too much to do.
I'm to the point to where 2 or 3 drinks, and I'm good.
And once I get there to that place, I'm like, okay, it's time to lay down now. I'm not actually like a fun, inebriated person. I'm just like, okay, I'm sleepy now. Bye. And so it's not like I'm fun to be around.
And I'm like happy. I get happy drunk. I'm just.
I remember about 3 years ago you came back to the hotel room happy drunk. Yeah.
Well, the thing about that year versus the next year is that
I was there.
I guess I hadn't. I guess it was the heat of the day. Mm-hmm. This is what happened. And basically, it was Contact in the Desert, 2014 for us. And I had pretty much been drinking as much water as I could drink. And I pretty much spewed it all out, to be polite about it. And
that was nasty.
And it was after I realized, I made the connection that people were digging their hands into the igloos to get the ice out. And that's probably where somebody had some dirty hands, and it must have affected the water, and that's probably why I did that. So here it is. I've spewed all this water out of me that I've been drinking the whole day, and so I'm empty. I haven't eaten anything. Don't have any. I wouldn't say I'm dehydrated, but I could probably go for a good Gatorade. But so we make it back to the bar in town where all the Fader nuts had kind of come together to have drinks with the host of the show that we know so well, and so I'm drinking on an empty stomach. So yeah, so needless to say, I got a little tipsy real quick, And it was because, I wasn't properly hydrated. Now, fast forward a year. The next year, I went toe-to-toe drinking with somebody we know so well. And he took a drink, I took a shot. He took a shot, I took a shot. And I pretty much drank. And Surlana, wouldn't you agree that even after all that...
You drove us back to the hotel, no problems, like you've been doing it your whole life.
And I've been in many situations like that before with alcohol. Because, okay, let me tell you another story. Alcohol stories, they're always the best, aren't they? So here I was back in the mid-'90s, and I was working for Blockbuster Video. And the store that I worked at was a training facility for managers that would go out to other stores. And so I was a part of that group of people at this particular store. That was my main store before they decided to move me to another store. So a few of the managers decided, hey, let's go get something to drink. It's Saturday night. So we left there. We go to this bar. We're playing pool. And I had like 4 strawberry daiquiris and about 4 whiskey sours. I was feeling good. So... I leave there, and I'm taking a friend home from that excursion, and Taco Bell is still open. I'm hungry. I'm starving. And so I go to Taco Bell, and come on, it's getting good. It's getting good here. I order 40 tacos, and crunchy tacos.
How long did it take you to get those, by the way?
Well, apparently they,
ready for you?
I don't recall how long because, I was in a stupor at the time, but I was laughing, hilariously with my friend, and so I drop him off. I get back home because I was living with my aunt at the time, and they were already asleep and everything. And I'm trying to get the key into the door, and I'm laughing to myself because I know I'm like just totally out there in left field. So get back into my room. I have a video I brought home from work, put it in, and I don't remember anything after that. So I wake up the next morning, and to my chagrin, I see all 40 tacos, the wrappers empty.
My God.
I'd eaten all 40 tacos. But here's the kicker.
Holy crap.
Here's the kicker. And of course, I weighed a lot more than I do. Than I do now. But some like 50 to 60 pounds heavier then. So that would explain a lot of my eating habits. But so I felt good. I didn't have a headache. I didn't have a hangover. I got up normal,
Well, a taco soaked up all
so
the alcohol.
I guess the tacos soaked all the alcohol up. So that's kind of been like the story of my life. Of whenever I've drank, it's been like I pretty much can handle things and have weird stories to go along with them, and so. But yeah. It'd be just like a scene out of Indiana Jones 2 or 1, where Marion's trying to drink against the other guy, and she holds her liquor and he passes out. That's the kind of person I am. If I was in a competition with somebody like that, I'd keep drinking, and you'd never think that I'm about to pass out, and boom, you would probably pass out.
Prevent hangovers.
Yes. So, the moral of the story is tacos do prevent hangovers.
If you eat 40 of them, yeah.
Yeah, 40 of them. So that's my taco story and alcohol story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Well, see, I've had this bottle of rum in the freezer for about 2 weeks, and I just now opened it tonight.
Nice and toasty.
Maybe I should go ahead and just clear out what we've got tonight, and get rid of it all.
No, because we've got things to do tomorrow. The story of our life.
Yeah. We're going to go way down to Webster, where we first met and dated and lived, and we're going to go see Daryl Sims give a talk down there. It's going to be interesting.
Sounds like it's going to be fun.
Yeah, he's going to be talking about transhumanism, and I can't wait to...
Yeah, transgenics, transhumanism.
And
we were going to do a show about that anyway.
Yeah, so this just kind of...
We're still going to do it.
We'll do some more research, and we'll have a fabulous show
I knew this week was going to be a bust for doing any research, so we thought we'll just talk about our experience at Comicpolooza.
Speaking of transgenderism, Did you hear that Bruce, Caitlyn
Okay, first.
Jenner wants to
apples and oranges.
go back?
Apples and oranges.
Well, if he doesn't want to be a transgender, it's really his call. I mean, at the end of the day, let me just say on this: you should be happy with whoever you want to be, transgender, gay, straight, whatever. I've had many friends, especially I was in theater arts in high school, and it was kind of the buffet of different genders, and so it doesn't change how I look at people. I just want people. In fact, I have a good friend of mine that I guess just within the past year or so just started the transgender process and taking hormones and all that stuff, and she is happy now compared to before. She was not very happy, but now she's happy, and I'm happy for her.
Good.
I'm trying to figure out how did we get from transhumanism to transgender?
Well, that was the alcohol kicking in with Bev.
Oh,
so, yeah.
okay, sorry. I thought I missed something.
What now? Transhumanism?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to explain,
What's
Surlana?
that?
It's like the Borg. That's half organic, half machine, or being
combining technology with the biological.
Yeah, having a chip implanted in your body.
That's where I got confused.
Yeah, this
Sorry,
is about
That's
blending.
That's my normal state of mind.
That blending technology and organic life.
Okay.
And eventually, we'll be accepting of that kind of situation
I
too.
have nothing to say about transgender. I know nothing about it.
At the end of the day, you just got to be happy with what you are. If you decide you want a bionic arm, I think that
just keep it away from me.
I'm good with that too as well. So I don't know. With people, I love all people. I want to have relationships with different people to learn who they are and be accepting with who they are. I like diversity, and at the end of the day, I just want to get along with everybody, regardless whether they have a political opinion left or right, whether they have a gender issue left or right, or in the middle, or I think Surlana will tell you that I take a very zen approach to all my relationships. There's some things I'm going to say, well, I don't believe that, but I'm not going to hold that into a category to pigeon-toe somebody down and say, I don't want to have a friendship with you, because you, as a person, are not defined by one thing. You have many things that define you as a human. And so, that's always been my philosophy. And I've always said also that at the end of the day, if you don't hear it from me, then it's butkus. I tell you the good, the bad, but you'll always know where you stand. So that's
the
my
bad and the ugly.
Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking it to you. And yeah.
Well, there's when you say there's a lot that makes a human. True. It's your personality, your environment, your way of life. I mean, there's a lot of things that make up a person.
Yes, but if you start adding technology to it, are you still fully human?
Well, I'm fascinated.
I'm
fascinated on that because, we've had some conversations like, I asked Surlana, I said, if you had some kind of implant in your brain that would allow you to be able to access, like, let's say, the internet, are you still going to be you, or you're? And that's the whole idea of transhumanism, is you're transisting. I can't say the word. Surlana, can you help me out here?
What are you trying to say?
Transitioning.
Thank
you. Transitioning to
Didn't you
something
just
more.
play a song called Transitional
True,
Kindness?
but you know me. I have that Gene Hackman syndrome.
Jane Hackman, is this his sister?
Gene Hackman. See, I'm getting a little tongue tied here. But anyway,
Good Lord.
I digress.
Maybe it's time for you to stop talking.
It's been a while since I've been on the air. I've missed everybody. I can't tell you how much I've missed.
I know.
It was exciting in a way when we were out sick and people were saying, "Hey, don't you have a show on tonight? Where's the show? Tell me you have a show on tonight."
You could have done the show and I could have just sat here and chatted, but I could not have spoken.
Yeah, you were not well.
My voice was gone.
And I figured, well, we'll take this day off, but then we'll come back. And then I thought, well, the whole reason we were taking off the 29th was so that we could prep for Comicpolooza. So it just kind of, and let me put it to you this way. How often have we taken off from Saturday nights on this show at 9 p.m.?
Never.
Well,
Never.
Exactly. Say it again. Once again, how many times have we taken off?
Never.
There you go. See, that's the commitment we bring to this show, is that we try to be here every Saturday night and provide a great show for everyone to listen to, and so that's just how we roll.
Excuse me. Leftover.
And our Saturday nights have not been right since you guys haven't been on. I keep saying, oh, man, I can't wait for Spaceboy and Surlana to be back on.
So I guess in the mean-spirit part of me saying this is, I think it was good that we took a couple weeks off, because it really made everybody miss us. And so in that sense, I'm kind of happy that, hey, you do love us. And you are, just like Sally Field.
He needs to know, and Spaceboy needs to know that you love him. Tell him often.
Because when I don't hear it, I feel like, okay, am I not doing what I need to do? Am I being boring now, or is there something that I've said that has ticked somebody off? And it wasn't intentional. Can we have a hug again? Make it right again. So anyway, I enjoy hearing feedback that. I'm not looking for yes people. I just want to hear, hey, I caught the show.
Yes,
I'm glad. Yes, I'm glad you broadcasted, but that show sucked.
He's totally looking for yes people.
But I would say yes. I would. I loved the fact that you tuned in, and even though you thought the show sucked, you still tuned in, and you still
only comment if you say yes.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh gosh, you guys are funny.
Yeah, well, we have missed being, back. Speaking of the studio, I guess we could kind of talk about this. I think we're gonna, our studio used to be in the front of the house.
You don't have to move it if you don't want to.
Well, I've been thinking.
I'll just clean the house. It's okay. I'll just clean the house.
I was thinking about moving it to the front, because Surlana just hates having people over, period.
Because you have to clean the house.
And so, instead of dragging somebody all the way to back here into the studio that we've kind of set up, and I like the fact that this is the only room painted.
Somebody
it may not be a good job, but
is going to have to go to the bathroom while they're here, which means I'll have to clean the house anyway.
So, but so
we can't tell people to go down to the Sitco if they want to go to the restroom.
They could try.
Oh, golly, they could try.
I'm fine with them just doing it in the backyard because we don't go out there.
Oh, my God. Well,
Oh, Lord. If you're female, you can't do that.
I'm afraid somebody might say a Sasquatch sighting or something like that,
Yeah, they'd probably be scared of the backyard right now.
Yeah.
It's not, cut or anything. But, people, I think people expect us to be normal and have like a normal house and do normal, but we don't. We're nerds. We live in a cesspit, and we're fine with it.
At the end of the day, when you hear us, and K28 will validate this, is that we are very much what you hear in real life. And when K28 was down here for a convention, we got to have an opportunity to eat with him for dinner.
I also think we just live too far away from where he was staying for that to be feasible to come here. So
sure, but he will tell you that we are what you hear. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier, genuine.
They actually bicker a little bit more than this, than what you hear.
Oh. Yeah, I give the eyebrow scowl every once in a while, and you can't see that on the show.
But yet, he
Bob
would not.
Gets my look every once in a while too.
He would not hold my hand during the scary parts of Covenant.
I was okay. Okay. First off, I was trying not to move any because I had downed I call it a biz drink, where, a bottomless drink of Coke Zero. And so, even though I went and took care of business before the show,
Nobody said you had to get a large.
Okay, hold on. I had to have, it's important to have a drink, some popcorn, and some chocolate during any movie I go to see. But the point is that halfway through the movie, I had to go pretty bad. And so I'm like, I had my fingers crossed and kind of staying still so that I wouldn't, make a scene, all over myself. I know, she's giving me the puppet sign. And so at the thing is that she was like saying, well, why didn't you hold my hand? Well, you're a big girl. You've, seen some scary movies. And then you kept kind of like nudging me in my stomach area. And I was like, oh, please don't do that. I'm going to, bleep all over myself.
Well, I'm not a fan of the way they're doing this movie theater now.
And you didn't even jump. I'm the one that jumped at a scene.
He jumped, and we knew it was coming.
Yeah, I knew it was coming, and
they've got jump
scares. Caught me off guard, but you were fine through the whole thing.
Just throws me a pillow. Say, here, cover your face up. It's a scary part. So I do.
But that white neomorph was freaky, scary look. It was scarier than the traditional dark black xenomorph. I didn't like that one at all. It was like ghostly pale white.
Yeah,
weird.
The different type of aliens in this movie were.
It was because it was evolving.
What movie was that?
Alien Covenant.
Yeah, the new Alien movie.
Oh, Sigourney isn't in that, is she?
No,
because she's technically not maybe been born at this point. Because this is prequels.
Oh.
Yeah,
these are prequels.
Oh, I see.
But anyway, it was a good movie, and I rated it a B. And you should definitely check it out, you and Bob. When it comes out on rental or whatever.
Yeah, that's what we do. Mm-hmm. We like staying at home and in our own little corner.
Well, the thing is that I'm going to tell you what's coming is the ability to watch first-run movies at home. It's just around the corner. They've done it with a few movies, but I would gladly, and the idea is to pay like $30 to see it first run in your house.
That's what you're going to pay the two of you if you just walk in there,
right?
Without buying concessions.
Now, on the flip side, there's some movies that I would pay at home to avoid the crowds, but then there's
children's movies.
Some movies that
any kids movies. If we could just watch that here, that'd be great.
Like Lego Batman, I am so watching that when I get a
Guardians
chance.
of the Galaxy.
Yeah. So, but there are some movies I want to see in the theater because the experience of Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to go see that in the theater. Seeing the Alien movie, I wanted to see that in the theater. Star Wars, I want to see that in the theater. But there's some movies like, okay, I really don't want to go to a theater on this, but I really want to see this movie. And then, that's I would do the pay-per-view, whatchamacallit, to see a first-run movie at home versus going to see it in the theater. So that's my deal.
I think the last movie we saw at the theater was, wasn't that Star Trek Voyage Home?
That's a while.
I was going to say, are you sure it was that, or was it Star Trek Beyond?
I think it was. Honey, wasn't that Star Trek The Voyage Home the last time the last movie we saw at the theater?
You can hear the little delayed thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yep. So, I mean, we'd much rather, like I said, stay in our own little corner and watch our movies at home. That way, if we have to get up and go, take a bathroom break or get something.
Or pause it.
Or we can pause it, yeah.
Trust me,
Plus, it's a lot cheaper.
As I get older, yes, I realize the value of being able to pause something and then come back to it, and so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bev, well, we appreciate you calling the universe, and we love the heck out of you and Bob, and like we were typing in the chat, and I guess Surlana was saying is that yes, we haven't shipped out stuff, and yes, I know it's been more than a day or two, a week, a month of postage, and it's all sitting by the door.
It's ready to go. It's packed up. It's labeled. It's taped.
Just needed to get it to the post office, and
it's ready to go.
And it's really, that's my bad on that. But I am going to get that out, and y'all will get something coming your way. And something's lined up for I guess. What was it? Bob answered the he was listening to the special, we were like, listen for the special code and then email us. He beat Ty out by just a fraction of a minute there, but won the prize. But Ty actually has something too. We haven't shipped them too.
I've even forgot what it was. I don't even know what we're sending any of you because it's been so long.
I think
it'll be as much a surprise to you.
I think Bob's getting either a Space Cadet or something else. I'm not sure. I think it's a Space Cadet.
Well, I know my sister's getting an envelope, and it's just got
music, Spaceboy music.
Yeah, it's got a USB stick of every single album he's ever released.
Not everyone.
Wow. Right, yeah.
It was from Virtual Kiss on.
I thought I did. Sorry, it's the one since I've met him.
It's Spaceboy music.
Spaceboy music since I've met him.
And we've got a package for.
But that took a long time to put together, didn't it?
It did. And then there was K28. We've got a little special something for him too, that we need to get out. So I apologize, everybody. Please forgive me. I mean well most of the time, and that packages will go out soon, and everybody will be whole again after that.
And we'll be sober by then too.
And who will be?
All of us will be sober.
Oh, okay. I'm not tipsy yet. I've only had one drink, but I'm going to be making more cranberry juice so I can have another one.
Well, have one for us, Bev. And as always, thank you for calling the universe and being there for us and supportive between both you and Bob. We love the heck out of you, and we just appreciate both of y'all.
Well, and thank you for taking my call, and we love you so much. Love you to the moon and back again.
Awesome. Well, good night, Bev.
Bye, Bev.
Well, good night.
Bye.
And you guys have a good night, the rest of the night, okay?
Oh, it's going to be good.
Thank you.
You made our night.
Indeed.
Well, bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was great to hear Bev again.
Mm-hmm.
Notice I called her Bev and not Fran.
Yeah. I don't know if I haven't seen Fran in a long time. Fran still likes us or not. She's still liking things on Facebook.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, Facebook. She's a super trooper when it comes to liking stuff I post out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think she liked the picture I posted of me as a baby 2 days old. And my mom. Picture of my mom.
For Mother's Day.
Yeah. So, but... So where are we, Surlana?
Well, we were talking about Comicpolooza, and we'd gotten to our broadcast, and now the third day was Sunday, the last day, and you did the walk with the big old alien head in your alien hands. Before you did that, you let me have a break from whatever it was we were doing at the booth, and I got to go over and do my first virtual reality experience.
Oh, I remember that.
Now, you did yours the day before, and you played some kind of space game, and I got that on video. Unfortunately, some of the video I took, the different things we did, I did not realize I needed to unplug something from the camera in order to pick up the audio. So that's just me being a doofus, but I do
But the
have
flip side, real quick, is that you will be
video
able
of
to,
you doing it.
We'll be able to turn the video into a kind of a montage with some music behind it, and you'll get to see me playing this game.
Yeah, my sister says she needs to check Facebook more often. Indeed, go look at least my Facebook wall, sis, and just scroll down, and you'll see a lot of the pictures. And of course, most of them are on Twitter. But
And
so
Instagram.
you did the VR, and that was the first time you'd done.
Yeah, surprisingly, you would think by now I would have done a VR game, and up to this point, I hadn't. I hadn't really touched an Oculus Rift or any of that.
Where would we have done that? So
Exactly, and I wasn't. Yeah, there for $800 you can buy the VR system, and of course, that's an investment I would rather spend. Actually breaking down, sending postage through the mail and sending stuff to people.
Well, so you played some, excuse me, some kind of space game.
Mm-hmm.
You were really digging that, and I think the games that they had for you to play were on Steam. Because Steam has VR capable games you can download to your consoles and to your PC to do virtual reality. So on Sunday, you let me have a break, and I ran over there, and I actually did some virtual reality. And what I did was a draw where you can draw in a 3D space.
Oh, okay.
And what's cool is you first get in there, you put the headset on, and you hold the things. It looks like the holodeck from TNG or Star Trek.
You could see a grid.
It's a grid. It's just like the holodeck.
When I did the space thing, I looked down and it was gridded out, and it was really cool. To me, I took it was like a duck
to water.
To water.
And you had never done it before. You've never held the controls. And as soon as she says, do this, do that, I mean, you took off. You just really wasn't anything awkward about it. So I took video of you doing that. And then I would pan back to the monitor so we could see what it was you were doing and playing. And then you're doing that. So the next day, I went and think of like Photoshop in a virtual 3D space, but, kind of like a stripped down version. So what I did, I wrote my name in cursive, just in the air. And then when I did that, I could, like, in real life, I walked behind my name and saw it from the other side. That was weird. It's just so weird. I was like trying to draw little pictures, and just enough to. But the thing was, I took my glasses off, and I couldn't really see. But when I tried to put them on, the mask squished my glasses against my eyeballs, and I didn't like that. So I really would need to get a better fit. But I got just a taste of it. Go, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I thought you would get maybe some motion sickness or something. But
no, this is.
I guess because your whole body's moving and you're feeling it.
This is very different than playing first person shooters, which are stationary. The guy that was doing the VR thing said, "Hey, you've beat the high score record here." And
that was Josh Bankston of Exitus VR.
So I not only did I just click with it, I beat the high score that was there, and it was fun. I really was like, man, we need to get this. I mean, but
it ain't cheap.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be an $800 price tag.
Now, the funny thing is because you also interviewed him, and I've got to get that interview up on
which will
YouTube.
Be coming, yes.
I'll try to get it today and tonight. But, excuse me. We hit it off with him, I guess, because we interviewed. So when you did the alien head, we walked over there, and I got a picture of him walking toward him to shake his hand as an alien. But
plus, there's a nice picture on Instagram that I saw, and I'm sure it's out.
It's there,
and it's a great picture of both of us.
But that night, Sunday night, later in the evening, after you'd gone to bed, and I'm laying there and I'm looking at social media from all the different people who are there in the makerspace. Exodus VR thanked us. They tweeted at us, but they have this short video clip. Because when I went over there to do it, There was a guy dressed as Left Shark. He was in a shark costume. And if you don't know what that is, that's
I was getting ready to say, you might want to explain that.
How many Super Bowls ago that Katy Perry did the halftime show, and she had like a beach theme, so they had like people dressed up as different sea creatures dancing with her, and she had two people dressed as sharks, like mascot sharks, and one on her left, one on her right. Well, the left shark was kind of doing his own thing. He wasn't quite choreographed doing as well as the other dancers, and that got to be really popular on social media, Left Shark. Well, so he was dressed as Left Shark. And I walked by and said, "Excuse me, are you Left Shark?" He says, "Yeah." And I'm like, okay. So he's over there later, after I left, they took this clip. They had him pull his shark face back over his face. You could see the red VR mask sticking out of his mouth. So it looked like he had something red in his mouth. And then you just see his shoes and his hands coming out the costume. And here's this shark kind of just spazzing out with these two controllers. It's hysterical. And you go to @the SB Universe or mine @Surlana and just kind of scroll till you find it. It'll be on there. I had tweeted them back the next day saying, I've watched this 40 times. It's so funny. You've got to see that. So we had a good time, and we got an invitation to go to whenever they do their meetups, and we might do that. And then Jared Williams from creatorspace.org, who is way down in League City, which is below Clear Lake, which is below Webster and below Seabrook. It's almost like, is that almost in the water, basically? It's almost in the Gulf. So it's way, way, way down there. But we still might go hang out and check him out on June 3rd. They're having some grand opening or something down there. And of course, I think we are going back to Makerspace. And I think that's a given.
Well, considering the contacts we've made with them and shown them that we're very capable of...
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing. When we go, we won't be such a stranger. There'll be people there we met from this time at Comicpolooza, so it'll be like seeing old friends. And then we met Chris Harris from Da Vinci Makerspace. Now, they were cool. Da Vinci Makerspace was there at Comicpolooza giving free cosplay repair. So if you're at the con and, something rips or falls off or comes unglued, they can help sew it back together, glue it back together.
Reminded of your conversation with him.
Yeah, he came over just to say hi because we'd interviewed him the next day. And I said, "So did you get many people come to have their costumes and whatnot prepared?" He's like, "We had so many people. They were out the line of, and they had it was kind of like a trailer, like an old 50s trailer." He says the line was out the door and down into the hallway. He goes, "I had to run upstairs with a sewing kit to help some people up there." I said, "So, did you see some things you didn't want to see?" He said, "Oh, yeah." He looked a bit traumatized. He didn't talk about it.
Even when I was doing one of my interviews with some of the cosplayers, they were like, "Well, I know there's a place that can fix it. We just haven't found it." And it was like,
there's a giant thing hanging from the ceiling. It says cosplay repair.
Over there is where you need to,
go to Da Vinci Makerspace.
Yeah. So, yeah, that story that you told me that, I've seen some things. And
then Jim Fox came in from Posometry, and just hung out with us and just chit-chatted at the end of the day. And he said, cool. He said, "What's the hip happening place in all of Comicpolooza that you've seen? Because I know you've been up and down here." And I said, "Honestly, the most interesting, fascinating place in Comicpolooza is Makerspace, because you can actually come over here and touch things and do things and learn things, and you can bring your kids and you don't have to worry. You get to see robots, you get to see stuff flying in the air, little drones. EPO was there, Electronic Parts Outlet was there. You can do virtual reality, come over and play it for free, and learn about that from the local guys at Exodus. Houston Community College was there. They were showing off from their engineering, not school, but the engineering courses they have there. They were showing off their 3D stuff. Oh my gosh, so much 3D printing. You can't imagine. I got a 3D printed bracelet from Creator Space, or you got it, and I just sort of took it from you.
Mm-hmm.
So, cause,
I'm glad you clarified that, because I started giving you the eyebrow, like, what? But
yeah. So we made made some good friends, and so when we go to Makerspace, we won't be so, out of touch, and we'll know these people,
and of course they'll know us. And yeah, it's unfortunate that the maker area wasn't more central.
Yeah, we were like it was called A to E, and we were sort of AB. Because
the previous year they had all the vendors that were selling T-shirts and stuff towards the
middle,
and you came in on that end and then made your way in, because that's where last year.
No, that was kind of irritating when you first got there as an exhibitor. You could only go in one specific door, and it was way down at Hall E, and then you had to, or D, and then you
had to walk all
the way the length of the George R. Brown to where our booth was on the inside, and just
that part sucked.
Yeah, well, I know why they did it, because they were trying to keep people who belonged in there before the time they let the public in.
Right.
They're trying to kind of police it. So
now there's something we didn't really talk about at the convention was going back to bringing the amplifier to the event.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me a chance to periodically just talk to people as they were walking by and promoting Spaceboy Universe, which was really cool, and I thought that worked out pretty well. Also, what it helped was that we had this plan to give away swag, and we had put these boxes together with the Space Cadet Porky Pig thing from Funko
Duck
Pops.
Dodgers, yeah.
Yeah, Duck Dodgers, and I had bought quite a few of them at a pretty good, reasonable rate,
mm-hmm.
and so we weren't giving them out, and people we were doing the tag, but people would not respond to a phone call or a text to come back and pick theirs up. So what we ended up doing is that last day we did drawing, but I was on the mic and I was saying, don't go anywhere. We're going to draw these things now. So we had a good time drawing out.
Oh yeah.
And
Danny took pictures of that too.
Danny took pictures of it.
That's all out there.
Michelle was out there on her roller skates.
Oh yeah, she was a trooper. She was an angel.
We hit it like a boss.
I told her how much I appreciated her, because there's no way I was doing that.
And it was fun. So there I am on the mic. And handing these things out, and then periodically just talking to people about where to tune in and where to listen to, and so that was fun. Speed, giving out the swag that we had left to make sure that we could get rid of it, because I didn't want to take it back with us, and
Somebody's asking me if we have Space Cadet T-shirts. I'm like, well, I was actually working on a design in Illustrator for that, but there's just no time for anything, because we got so much we need to be doing for this show. We got to get our show content. We need to get some guests on the show. Then there's another thing you said you wanted to do. I want to try to help you with, and then there's Project S.
Mm-hmm. And it's classified. Just know that Project S is, if it works, it's really going to be something special for Spaceboy Universe that's going to separate us from the people that are out there trying to mimic our show.
I don't know what you're talking about, and we'll have a discussion after the show's over about that.
Okay.
It's something good. It's kind of unexpected, and it's based off a suggestion from
our good friend
Patrick Sporer, which is like, I wish we need to find some time to talk to him off the air, so pick his brain. But yeah.
But he is listening.
He is listening.
Because we got an email from him at 10, so we know Patrick is always listening.
Yeah, so it is good things.
Yes.
Very good things coming up. Can't talk about it because, if it, it's not set in stone yet because we don't have.
It's one of those things, if you start talking about it, then it's not going to come true. So with us, it's like, hey, we just want to let you know there is something good out there. But when it comes together, you're going to be like, What? Whoa, I can't believe you're doing something like that. Or
do you think we should round up volunteers for that?
Well, sure. I mean, I know that the people that, Michelle and Danny and Gary and
she said she'd help out. I'm like, I'll take her up on that. She said she'll even wear skates and a costume.
The thing is, they had a good time.
I hope so.
Everyone that helped out, we all had a great time doing.
I know that Nathan and Gabriel did.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a win for everyone. And
we didn't ever see them again.
Well, the thing is that I encouraged people like, hey, I'm not paying you, but so at least get some enjoyment out of going to check out everything.
Well, they got in for free.
Yeah, they got in for free. So, oh man.
Yeah, I'm never going to get rid of these coughs, I guess. But yeah, so Comicpolooza was a blast. Made new friends. A lot of good came out of it.
More content.
More content.
More
Project
contact.
S is coming. We're probably definitely going to Maker Faire in October. That's going to be in October. And I'm hoping he'll allow us to come back to Comicpolooza. And now we know if we get a 20 by 20 space, you automatically get 8 exhibitor badges. And so that means we can have volunteers come and help us. You won't have to pay it again. The only problem with the whole thing was how much they're charging for parking and how much they charge for concessions.
Yeah.
That is
robbery.
Scam. That's like being robbed.
Yeah. What was it? $4 for a Coke?
Yeah, it was outrageous.
Yeah.
It was $30. It was like going to the movies. And it was $18 a day to park under Discovery Green, which it's underground, but it's literally you just walk across the street and you're in.
It's the best parking.
It's the very best parking.
And yeah, it's hard to beat that.
Just
parking.
cross the street and there you are. You're inside George R. Brown. Or you could stay in one of the 2 highfalutin hotels that are attached.
That is the idea. Is there's 2 hotels attached to the George R. Brown. That to me, and with it being 4 days of a convention next year, we might consider doing the, renting a hotel room for that. And maybe
I know we need a bigger vehicle.
Yeah, and that considering what we're planning for next year, we'll need a bigger vehicle.
We also need to Clorox the inside of the aliens.
Yeah, so I don't get a cold or anything. That was
both of them.
Probably why I got. I mean, the monkey mask is not so bad. See, it's really humid in the alien mask.
It's totally enclosed.
But as far as the monkey mask, I was really surprised how that all worked.
K28 keeps going on about my chicken purse. Let me tell you what it did, because you saw me take a picture of it. I took it with me to Comicpolooza because I didn't know if they were going to be doing a shakedown of purses and backpacks and whatnot, which would be in the right. So I took the chicken purse because I thought most people would think, oh, well, this is just part of a costume, not thinking it's a purse. So day 2, I loaded that sucker up with all kind of contraband snacks. I had goldfish and Pringles.
We really didn't take advantage of the media lounge.
Well, we didn't find it till late in the day on Friday.
But but at least that one day, we had some wonderful tea. We got
I told Nathan
got some
Gabriel,
snacks.
go to the media lounge and get free stuff.
Yeah,
because they had our press badges too. But a good time's had by all. Lots of good came out of it. Lots of exciting stuff on the way. Hopefully, we can come back next year. Thanks to David B. with Maker Faire.
Well, I think it's a strong possibility we'll be back there. And then, of course, we're already scheduled for Mini Maker Faire. And we'll be visiting the Texas Robotics Invitational again.
Yes. Texas, first in Texas. There's a competition season. It's going to be at that same school again. And it'll be late June, early July. And I got to order a T-shirt for that.
And, some of the people we made contacts at, we're going to go see some of these people at locations. And, so it's all good in the neighborhood.
No, they did not inspect the chicken. Nobody inspected anything.
Yeah, it was, we could have brought in a barbecue pit and nobody would have been no wiser.
As long as it fits in a plastic tub, nobody would have noticed.
So,
Foreman grill,
Exactly, But maybe next year, we'll work that out and...
if you can think of a sneaky way to get stuff into a, let us know.
I'm already planning. So anyway, Surlana, we're reaching the bottom of the hour of our show, and
I don't know what to tell you about
schedules
for the next Spaceboy Universe. We haven't agreed on it.
Well, I know we were going... Well, I'm looking at the schedule right now behind you. We were talking about revisiting great women of history. Can you believe...
Well, let me ask those listening. I still want to do that, sure, because there's plenty of them.
Great Women of History, Volume 2.
But I had this idea. What about infamous women of history?
Okay.
And I'm not talking about your run-of-the-mill Lizzie Bordens and Bonnie of Bonnie and Clyde. I'm talking about some other women who've done things we don't know about. Because they're little known. Wouldn't that be interesting? Finding out the bad with the good.
Well, I guess we'll have to look
Or maybe I could do both. Maybe I could do some women who've done some good things and some women who've done some bad things.
Anyway, we're going to have to redo that calendar behind you because we're...
You were at the end of it.
Yeah, so it's time to...
We're still going to do transhumanism. That was sort of...
Yeah.
I think we were going to do it next week, maybe.
I think there was an alien topic that we were going to do. Not alien movie, actually alien races.
I have that content already. That would be easy to do.
Fringe related that we can dive into.
That's already done. It's just the notes and everything already done.
So... Yeah, we will, I guess, just check the website. SpaceboyUniverse.com is where you can find out what our shows are going to be.
I wouldn't check it tonight.
No, yeah.
I mean, check it tomorrow.
We got to get it all up there. But, yeah, you'll find what the shows are at that time. Anything else to let our listening audience know?
Again, I'm going to do one more plug for Patreon. If you can help us out, one of the things we found out by going to Comicpolooza is how much more things we need for going to conventions to help promote. And that would help grow our listenership, help maybe get more of an audience today, maybe even help donate. Donations would help run the call center. We were doing our Skype tonight. The call center is something that takes about
cash.
It takes a certain amount of money to re-up it, and you don't get to choose how much. It's a set amount, so donations run the 800 number. So we would need help with that. Of course, just the cost of our cable bill for the internet and for Spreaker. We're just getting
in other words, what Surlana is saying
is
there's some expenses that would be great if you're able to help out, great. If not, it's not the end of the world. We're still.
But if you do help out, you've got some guaranteed rewards there, and no, I promise it won't take 8 weeks to get them to you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because it's put up or shut up. If you dole out the cash, then we'll be really super motivated there to show you our love and appreciation.
And it's not going to end the dedication that we have. We're dedicated to get the show to year 2, which will be in September, which will be here soon enough.
Oh my, yes.
Yeah, 2 years of broadcasting Spaceboy Universe.
Maybe by then we can tell them about Project S.
Yes, by then, we'll have something juicy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you can help us out, that'd be great. We're not trying to, force you into a corner or anything.
Yeah, they're you can give $1 or $5. There's set amounts you can give, and then like I said, we'll make, and for those set amounts, there's a set reward package. So
other than that, just help us out if you can. If not, there's our little plug for Patreon. You can get there by going to spaceboyuniverse.com. It's right underneath the player. That'll take you to the Patreon account, and you can check it out and go from there. So, Surlana, okay, we've done the Patreon plug. Anything else we need to...
follow us on our social media to see all the cool things we took pictures of, and please check out the YouTube for Spaceboy Universe. So in the next few days, I'll have the rest of the videos, but there are videos there now from Comicpolooza.
Also, make sure that if you want us to review and take a look and maybe put stuff into the show, to do it at Spaceboy the SB Universe and hashtag Space Cadets. If it's important that we want our audience engaged with us, and we can't do it if you don't give us a heads up of what you think is interesting, because we want this to be,
Yeah, he's saying if there's a topic or you want us to look at or do as a show or review, or
you see an article you want us to look at and
tweet it
possibly
at us,
share it with the rest of the Space Cadets, and we'll share it on the show. That is the way to do it. So that's at the SB Universe and hashtag Space Cadets.
Or even contact at spaceboyuniverse.com.
True. All right. And anything else, Surlana?
If you're a new listener and you're coming to us from Comicpolooza 2017, where you first learned about us, thank you. We appreciate you. Please come back every Saturday night. If you can't, please catch it on demand or download it. We'd love to have you as a listener.
And always remember, this is a digital broadcast because it's live. After it's done and said and all that good stuff, it's broadcasted out into the universe for you to listen to on the go. So, once again, I'm Spaceboy, and you
Surlana.
It's Surlana, and say goodnight, Surlana.
Nah.
Spaceboy Universe is hosted by Spaceboy and Surlana. Executive producer is Surlana. Social media producer is Dennis Koch. Associate producer is Lee Ann Cordes. Music production is Spaceboy of SpaceboyMusic.com. Special thanks goes out to Lee Ann K, K28, Mark S, and Bob N. This has been a Spaceboy Universe production. Support the universe by exploring Spaceboy Universe with Spaceboy and Surlana. Sweet dreams, Space Cadets.